What's up, Rod?
What's going on, Gary? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm just getting things situated over here. Jim Lauer.
Situated, huh?
What's that?
Getting things situated, huh?
Yes, that's right. See, Jim Lauer is watching and Gene Seymour.
Yeah, I see Shannon Weiss and Steve Baker as well. Very cool. Very cool. Man, you ready for it to get cold again? You ready?
No.
Holy cow.
No way.
It's getting ready to get cold in Kansas. Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas. We're getting ready to drop off here, man.
Yeah, my son was telling me they don't have like any more school days left to burn up for the weather. He said if they lose any now, they got to tack them on in May. So
add a day.
Yeah. Yep. Start tacking them on the back end.
Wow. I see Mark Richardson watching. I see Larry Hunt watching. Larry Hunt made it back to Springfield.
Shannon Wise says, "Hey guys." Troy Hayes, what's up?
What's up? Man, we had some bench racing going on, didn't we? Yesterday.
Larry, Snowmageddon. How much snow are you supposed to get, Larry? Rod, what are they calling for here? Like 4 to 6 or something like that?
Yeah, 4 to 7, I think, actually.
Okay.
But we'll see what happens. I think
Jim Robinson.
Monday night, Tuesday. Go ahead.
Yeah. Monday night into Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Yeah. Hey, I see the Harper's on. See Jim Robinson. You guys gloves on?
Jim Robinson up to his armpit in the gloves. Matt Ray says Larry is going to get more snow than us. He can have it.
Yeah, he is.
Whoa. 14 inches of snow.
We don't want that.
That's gross. Oh.
Yeah. Well,
Mrs. Harper. Hello, Mrs. Harper.
Good evening. Good seeing the Harpers yesterday too at Mount Hamilton. Gary, I want this to be the last little thing. You know what I mean? Get through this week into the weekend. You know, it's officially Daytona, right? It's officially race week. So we had race week. We had the Mel Hamilton open house. So like it's time to start getting back into racing. Enough with this winter stuff. You know, we got daylight savings coming around the bend in a few weeks, and I'm ready.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah.
3 weeks from last night.
Yeah, let's just get this going. You know what I mean? We got parts coming in. We got to get motors going, cars ready. I mean, April 5th is going to be here before we know it, isn't it? April 5th?
I know. Yeah.
Got my little sheet right here. I got this at Mel Hamilton Ford yesterday. You know, our city opens March 15th with the first snow prep race.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I've actually got a paper copy nowadays, too.
There you go. Did you get one of these bad boys, too?
I did right here. Woo!
Man, we saw Larry Hunt chucking it up with him. He's a good dude. Yeah.
Mrs. Harper, daylight savings. Thank the heavens above, man. I hate the dark in the evening.
Yeah. I got my official Rodney Dow Motorsport spreadsheet, too. I see my green screen messing with it, but
I printed that off, and it's taped up on January because January is X'd out. So it's
there you go.
taped up so I can see it.
I feel some vacation days coming on to get the car ready.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's going to come quick.
Yeah.
Matt says there'll be some ice racing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Tracy Lynn is watching. Hey, Tracy Lynn.
Tracy Lynn, you missed a good time yesterday. We're going to have to talk to Bobby and Stahl and Steve Baker if they got those cars out of there okay last night. Because when we left, it was sleeting and snowing around 3 o'clock or so.
Yeah, it was. I think about 2:30-ish is when we walked out of there, and it was snowing pretty good.
It was. Now, did Bob Stahl own all the cars that were on the showroom floor, or did he just own 2 or 3 of them? I mean, it seemed like I'd walk by and it'd say his name on a door. That's Bobby's as well. You know, go to the next car. That was Bobby's. Okay, well, God, it's the Bobby Stahl show. You know what I mean?
I think he owned all of it.
I don't even have to go to Newton, you know, to check him out. I'll just come to the Mel Hamilton deal. Holy cow, you know.
Welcome to Bobby Stahl Ford.
No kidding. You know,
Tracy Lynn says hi, guys.
Hey, Tracy. Yeah, you missed a good time. It was packed. And what about the food? Was the food on point?
Yeah. We've had hamburgers and hot dogs in the past. It was a taco bar. I guess you call it taco bar.
Right? Yeah.
Had some soft shells, had some hard shells. and some nacho stuff. Man, it was really good.
Oh yeah, hamburger, chicken, all the fix inside, chips, jalapenos, and now if you went away hungry, that was your fault. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, it was really good.
Then later on, we got some cake. That's another thing. I see Bobby Stahl. He's walking around with chocolate cake in his mouth. I'm like, where'd you get that? And he's like, oh, it's over here. It's over here. Come over here by Phil's office, you know? And so we went over there and had some of that too, man. It was a good time.
That cake was delicious too. Yeah, Shannon says the taco bar was awesome. It sure was. You know, I made 2 tacos and a little nacho bowl, and then I'm sitting down, and then Keith walks over and sits down with his plate. He did it right. He put everything on a plate like a big nacho on a plate with all this. That was the way to do it.
That was. I ran out of room. You know what I mean? I ran out of room. And you did it right too, because you had the flat plate and the bowl. You know what I mean? I saw it. Yeah.
Let's catch up here. There's Charles. Hey guys, I'm watching. There's Charles McPherson, Mr. 580.
That Mr. 580.
It is heavy on the Mr.
Don't we have another 580 tonight to talk? Man, maybe we could do a little call out here. Isn't Steve Baker 580? You know what I mean?
Oh, right.
Heck yeah.
Larry says, I hit some heavy stuff headed back. He's talking about snow here. I hit some heavy stuff headed back and terrible fog headed there on the way. Yeah. Highway 400 is a long road at 40 mile an hour. Woo!
Man, I'll tell you what, he called me like at 9:30. He goes, man, I hit the fog out of Springfield. I'm on the other side of Fredonia. I'm 50 minutes out, you know, and I'm like, oh yeah, it was kicking off at that point. It was starting to get busy. Hey, did you do your little scratchy? Did you win any money?
I did not.
I didn't either.
The big prize on that ticket was $20,000.
Right.
And I was one number off.
One number.
Yeah, my 20,000 number had a 32 beside it, and I scratched off a 31.
Dang!
So I was one number short of hauling home the big cash.
Yeah.
Dang it!
Look what Larry's saying. He's got that right, man. The grilled chicken was on point.
Yeah, it was. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tracy Lynn says she's been down with the sickness. Was bummed to miss everyone. Okay, hope you're getting better. Was kind of wondering where you's at.
I know it. She's always there man, that is going around. You know, I took my turn last week. I was off for 3 days, and I know you said it hit you for a day. Yeah,
it only got me for a day, but
yeah,
I toughed it out. I overpowered it.
Yeah.
Travis Kurtz watching Mike Holmgren. Hey, Mike Holmgren, that's a fella from Salina.
Oh yeah, Troy Hayes and Babyface. Look at Babyface, man.
Did you see his Pro Mod sneak peek picture he sent?
I did. He said that he was just, okay, so what Gary's talking about, everybody, is Babyface sent us a picture of his new engine, or maybe he's a freshen up. I ain't leaking all the details. But he said, just crown me. That's what I need. Crown me right now.
It's kind of the same as y'all. Yeah, y'all just stay home, right?
That's what I felt. He's like, and he put the hand up like that. So that's what I was getting at. Like, don't even come, don't even bother, because I got the crown. You know what I mean? I'm taking out all the Mavericks and Mustangs and whatever comes my way, right? So
that's right.
That's right. That's right. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. He said it's just you forgot to put freshen. Okay. Well, I'm freshening a Suburban engine.
Yeah.
You'll see. Yeah. You'll see.
Yeah. That's what he's saying, man. He's coming for the crown. 275 limited. Woo!
Yep, that's right. There's Brian Wise. Good seeing you fellas this weekend. Brian, good to see you.
Yeah. Glad you guys made it back okay.
Larry says 2 years ago I won a Nintendo Wii system at the open house.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, wow.
Awesome. Hell yeah.
That's great.
Stop it. Cool. Yeah, it was a good time. I bet we got some pictures to talk about here.
Yep. Yeah, you took some pictures and sent them over, and we got those to share, a few of them, before we dig into our main event, fellas.
And then we got some local legends, of Heads Up Racing.
That's right.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what, I used to race with Bobby back in the day. I'm talking about the 1900s, 99, 99, all that stuff,
Wow.
MSRA, Mad putting on a little Heads Up, or it wasn't Kid back then. It was WIR with Wayne.
WIR, yeah.
Heads Up, we go out there and get down. They raced quarter back then. We were running mid to low eights, back then, 160, whatever. in the
Yep.
quarter, but
yeah. And you're racing now that quarter mile an hour is what we're racing in the 8th mile now.
Yeah, it seems that way, doesn't it?
That plus,
Yeah, if you want to get down, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
We got about 30 watching there, 21 live on Facebook. We're ranking them in tonight.
Yeah, hey,
see the legends here.
Yeah, and if you're watching and you can call somebody and tell them to watch, you need to, because we talked to Bob yesterday at Mel Hamilton, and on a scale of 1 to 10, he was turned on about a 20.
Yeah, and he said, I ain't getting started yet. You know what I mean?
We could have started this show yesterday afternoon.
You know what I mean? We could have. If we had hot mics, we could have went live right then.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So if you're watching this, phone a friend, and you're not going to want to miss Bob and Steve.
I think Trump's coming by. He went to Daytona, and then he's going to slide in over here. You probably saw
That's right. Do a little flyover, park it out here.
There you go. Cool. Hell yeah. Nah, but it was a good time. I'm ready. Hey, Scott Linker's on. He's watching. He knows. What's up, Scott?
Andrew Klein, Scott Linker.
Yeah. What's up?
Here's a comment here. Yeah, Scott says, "What's up, fellas? Howdy."
Yeah, he should be out. He's talking about being out this year, so that'll all work out. Another player in small tire,
Yep. Hopefully he's close.
Yeah.
Got some time yet. Got some time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We have 5 weekends, Gary, did you say? You said 6 last time.
Yeah, this is the 16th. Yeah, so you got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you got 5 working weekends. So
there you go. All right.
That's enough.
Whatever weekdays in between too, is burn some vacation,
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do we have anything exciting to talk about real quick?
Well, I think so. I think we did have something happen throughout the week, after the show last week, we got a call, the bat phone rang, and we made some, we did some messages throughout the week, and we actually got a little a clue on right now. I mean, you can see it on the screen. I see it plain as day, but I don't know if everybody can see it. But yeah, we did have something. You want to share? Gonna kick that off?
Yeah, let's do this. And bam! Breaking news.
Whoa! That's awesome.
Yeah. So kick that off however you want to kick it off, and I will follow with the pictures.
Sounds good. So I'll start right now. So just want to take a minute and start here. And we'd like to welcome Al Schoenwetter and Larry Hunt and the entire family of the Titans of 10-5 racing season as our latest marketing partners in 2025. So with 6 Titans of 10-5 races throughout the Midwest 2025 season, the Heads Up Racing Gary and Hot Rod podcast will give you full coverage of winners, runner-up, special stories after each event, making us, Gary and Hot Rod podcast, the official podcast of the Titans of 10-5. Boom.
Nice. Oh, actually, hey, 1 second. I got that. Oh, I had a clap. Dang, I must have got rid of the clap.
That's all right.
Here we go.
There. And like it says there, Gary, the fastest small tire series in the Midwest. So
that's right.
Gary and myself been talking to Al and Larry all last year. We talked to them at PRI a little bit. We've been private messaging each other. It's like what Phil Nightingale said last weekend. It's a good partnership between us. We can help them out a little bit. They can help us out a little bit with the race series. We want to be able to have this platform and be able to interview people and show pictures just like we did all last year. We plan on coming to all the events. And so, we just talked through it, and they jumped on board with both feet. And so it's just
no hesitation.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you got a little new screen?
Yeah. I like this here. It shows official podcast of Titans of 10-5.
Hell yeah.
The fastest small tire series in the Midwest.
Yeah.
That's super awesome. Al and Larry, thank you a ton for being partners with us.
Oh yeah. I mean, and that's just, it's like we talked about too. They're actually, how do I want to say this? They're, taking a part with us too. They're like reaching out and they're saying, you guys can be the group to tell the story, with the pictures and bringing the people on and, and they're, this is their baby, that they've started this to welcome us in as family, that's pretty cool there. So, yeah. So what's some of the people saying down there, Gary? You got some comments?
Yep. Mrs. Harper says, congratulations. Thanks, Mrs. Harper. Doug Perry, congrats, guys. Thanks, Doug. There's Mr. Larry. Love it. He loves it. Nice. Photography by Chesney. Awesome. Thanks. Photography by Chesney. And Brian Snyder says, official like a ref with a whistle.
Nice. Yeah, we had a good time and glad we were able to get that done.
Yeah, it'll be great working with them guys and we've what we're gonna be doing is pretty much what we've been doing for a year. We're just having fun, talking about it and highlighting the winners and all that kind of stuff that goes on. And man, it's just a fun time.
Nothing but a good time.
Yeah.
All right.
So with that brings
there it is.
A new little corner spot for a partner there. So
format, there they are right there. And it just looks so, like it's been there the whole time. Perfect. Right there. And just say, since we're talking about it, Gary, let's just go ahead and take a moment and thank all the partners for 2025. You want to bring that up?
Yep. Right, here we go. These partners are with us in 2025 racing season: Mid America Dragway, Ultra Color Collision Repair, Mobile Recon Mobile Detailing, Titans of 10.5, the fastest small tire series in the Midwest, Sandlin Iron and Metal Auto Salvage, and Harry Street Carpet. Nice. Thank you for being awesome partners for 2025.
Couldn't do it without them. Nice. Cool.
Heck yeah. Catch a couple comments. Tim, how about those Eagles?
Oh yeah, how about
this? Bam.
Yeah, I saw a thing on Facebook where they were showing all the Chiefs highlights, and they brought it in. They shown the coin toss, and that was the highlight.
That was it. They won the coin toss, and that's it.
That was pretty funny. I'm a Chiefs fan. I can laugh too. It's all right. So
yeah, wasn't their day.
No, that's it, exactly. Just like racing. That's why you race. That's why you play.
That's right.
Same deal. Bobby Stahl could have all the money. You know what I mean? Have all the cars and everything, but you still got to go down the track. You know what I mean?
Yep. Still got to race it.
That's right. Cool. I see Nick Ballman watching from Mel Hamilton Ford.
Nick Ballman watching. Brian Guy.
Oh, all right, man. We got a good crowd tonight. Let's go ahead and kick off yesterday.
Yep. We got some Mel Hamilton Ford goods. You ran around and snapped up some pictures.
Yes. This is a great shot here. Just got done with lunch,
Yep.
Caught up with Gary and Keith Lopez from Fox Rod Racing, Larry Hump there from Titans of 10.5. You can see in the background, that's a little checkout area right there where they people were paying to get in their merchandise and everything, and the products there, and that sales left and right. Had red tags going. And this thing just went back to the back, and Nick Ballman was hoping for 500, I think, and I think he got every bit of it, and so it was a good time. We got some more pictures coming up here, but man, just right after here, our tummies are full right here at this point. You remember? This one? Yeah.
Yep. Do you remember right here at this little powwow we had? Do you remember what we learned from Larry at this moment? Where he lived? Yeah,
he lives less than 5 minutes from Buc-ee's is what
Buc-ee's. I thought he said a mile.
And my main man, Larry, said did all of his Christmas shopping at Buc-ee's on this conversation. His stock just went up 300 points when he told me that.
Oh, man.
Golly. So that was a good time. He's got the official Titans of 10.5 shirt on, too. You see that?
That's a zip-up coat, looks like there.
Yep.
Check out Nick. Nick Ballman says, I have you on one screen and Daytona on another.
Oh, there he goes, man. The Daytona 500 still going on. They must have had some rain delays or something.
They did. It's going to be a late race.
Yeah. And I'm not going to say anything out of turn, but I'm going to make an announcement right here.
Okay.
Since I see Nick Ballman on, and I know Larry Hunt's on, and Al will watch this back later.
Oh,
but
right.
there was a moment where Larry and Nick Ballman got to talk to each other and do introductions. I did a little introduction. Larry came all the way from Springfield, 4+ hour drive, just to hang out. And then he went back. Before he got to leave, we got to have a little quick, introduction and everything. And then I'll circle back and catch up. But Nick Ballman did say that, Mel Hamilton Ford, we need to do something for the Titans of 10-5 series. Don't know what that is. Don't know if that's tires or products or just whatever to the winners, of the championship or whatever it's going to be. But he did mention that we'll have to get together and help support the Titans of 10-5. So I just want to let everybody know that Mel Hamilton Ford sees what you're doing. They like what you're doing. Appreciate you coming up and hanging out with the day. And they want to help as well, and they just want to keep, drag racing, circle track racing, whatever kind of racing alive in the Midwest. And so we'll definitely circle back on that. Appreciate you, Nick Ballman. Appreciate Mel Hamilton Ford for doing that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, Nick and Mel Hamilton and the whole Mel Hamilton team. That's really awesome.
Yeah. Very good.
Yep. You found this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Brown.
Speaking of legends, man, the last time I saw him was at PRI, when he bear hugged me, came behind, and he still hadn't had a haircut since then. He's supposed to get one tomorrow. But, I told him he's wearing the wrong jacket. I don't know. You know what I mean? And,
let me tell you, when I put this picture together, I can crop the sides and the top, and I was going to bring the bottom up, and cut off that fuel tank. But I was like, nah, that's not right. That's not fair to do.
This is Mitch, man. I've known Mitch since I was 12 years old. Me and Marty and Mitch and Flip and just hanging out. But he was out doing his thing too and getting some products and talking to some people and stuff. And he had some cylinder heads to make for his engines, and he's getting his nitro bike already. And so it's a good moment to catch this picture with him and as we're just kind of walking through the crowd.
Yeah, that's good. Good stuff. Heck yeah, rolling on to this was a fella from Pro Charger.
Yeah.
We got here with Nick and this Pro Charger guy.
Yeah, Nick Roberts, and this is Philip from Pro Charger. So he drove this truck behind us up that morning, parked it in there. It's a Coyote with one of their Pro Chargers. It's their kit. It's around $8,000. It's the head unit, the ribs, the belts, the pulleys, the injectors, the booster pump. And this thing made 642 rear wheel horsepower on this thing, and he drove it all the way from Kansas City. I mean, these F-150s are just blowing up, and But it was good to meet Philip, and we actually ran into him at PRI as well, next to that big board where they had all the names and stuff. He was with the, Eric and those other cats that were hanging out there. But, he knew about Titans of 10-5 as well, which is all the posters and the winnings there, which like Jake Mason and Adam Phillips and that sort of thing. But, so we got to hang with him a little bit and see his stuff. And he said his whole team was leaving Monday, tomorrow, to head to Georgia. And so they got their big truck and trailer Pro Chargers set up, all, packed and ready to go. And so they said Monday the driver takes off, and then Tuesday they fly out. And so, but he swung up here real quick. And when we were hanging out talking, Nick and Phil was actually talking to him about, these putting Pro Chargers on their new F-150s. They got 2024s, 2025s, and how they can put the kits on there at the dealership. And to be honest with you, I just happened to be listening in like I own the place, And, and so they were talking about how Ford is like slowing them down for a little bit because they changed the ECU. They cannot get inside it right now. And so they're waiting on some paperwork from them. And so as soon as they get that released, then they can go in there and start letting them tune on that. So that's kind of like their little stoppage, because Phil said he had 12 trucks out back that they were trying to convert right now.
Holy cow. Wow.
So that's pretty awesome stuff right there.
Man, that is cool.
Yeah. I see Michelle and Jamie Blueball watching.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Michelle and Jamie.
Yeah. I can't show it here, but Nick Ballman on Facebook did a let's go right behind Larry Hunt. Wonderful there. So that's cool.
Yeah. I don't know why it didn't show up.
Yeah. So that's cool stuff too. But yeah, there's the Pro Charger truck right there, and so that was a cool little ride.
There's
all
pretty busy in there.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at the Nick Roberts. What did he say about those F-150s?
Nick says we have like 30 trucks inbound. Oh,
There
man.
Man.
Damn. If you're a tech guy at Mel Hamilton, you got job security.
Oh, you ain't lying. And they can turn those out. You know what I mean? Day or two, I'm sure they get the swap over. And you know that white one at PRI, they were pulling 80 out of it. It ended up selling. Went over by Hutch. Local guy got it. Beautiful truck. Had all the suspension, wheels, tires. I think it had a Whipple on it, and really nice.
Pretty cool piece.
They're moving them.
Speaking of Nick, beside this F-150 was Nick's car.
Heck yeah, and that's his new engine and new turbo. He got all set up there. I think it's the Gangster 98 there, and with the billet center and all that exhaust downpipe that Fox Rod Racing did. And he also did the new, what would you call that? The discharge tube pipe that goes into the engine there. So
yeah, the aluminum piece there with the blow off valve.
Yeah. So we got all that in there, and he actually fired it up. They had Phil's car, the
late model. Yeah,
they fired that car up. Bobby Stahl fired up one of his cars, and then Nick fired his car up too. And I hate to, I'm here to tell you right now, but that methanol was burning my eyes out. You know what I mean? Burning my eyes.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it's, you know, for Nick and his car and the racing he does, what in 3 weeks they're no prepping at Mad, right?
That's right. March 15th, no prep. That's right. First event.
3 weeks from yesterday.
Yeah. So he's ready. He's ready. He went to the dyno. He went to Wichita Dyno and have Chris kind of get a little tune up on it, make sure everything was shaking out. And so like that, you know, I'm sure he'll find a little place to go to get a couple hits in, and then he'll be ready for the March 15th show down there at Mark City, Mid America Dragway. Remember last year, man, the weather was beautiful.
It was nice. Yeah.
It was just good to get outside. You know what I mean? I think that Forever Fudge down in Texas, that guy's got this thing says, we outside. I mean, that's just what it was like.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I see Marvin Jenkins and Brett Lobo watching.
Marvin Jenkins. Russell Foreman says, what's up? Hey, Russell. Yeah, Marvin Jenkins watching.
Yeah, Larry Hunt had some good things to say about you yesterday, Russell. Glad things are going well. I mean, anybody that makes the flyer, you know what I mean?
That's right.
You know they got their stuff together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's a
here's
white
the food line right here. Gary, I see you got both hands full there. Is that you?
I do, yeah. Yeah, I got the plate with the tacos and the bowl with the chips and the meat and the queso sauce on it. Yeah, it was really good.
Nice. Heck yeah. That was a good time right there.
Larry's saying something here. Larry says, would love to work with Mel Hamilton family. I love what you're doing for the motorsports family. Good group of racers in that area, and all are welcome to the Titans family.
Nice.
That's right. Very well.
Right. Hey, let's take a pause. Raise your cup for that one.
Here.
There you go.
Woo.
Take that right there. Good stuff.
That's right. What a great group of people. Mel Hamilton, Titans, all the racers. Woo.
Community.
Yep.
Look at this picture. Speaking of family right here, look at this.
Yep. Keith and Troy, Brian, Shannon, you, me.
Yep. Getting our grub on, eating the taco bar. Good time. Out in the service area. Did you go check out that little, they had the little banner up there and the trailer in there doing the merch, and then they had that modified car over there, Mullins? Did you see that?
I walked back over there, look at that trailer, and they already had it broke down. Okay. I don't know if they were selling merch or what, but whatever it was, I missed it.
Sure.
I missed out.
We'll get it in here. Yeah.
Yeah. Greg Freeman watching. Hey, Greg, I introduced you to him there late in the day when we stand in front of Nick's car, the painter from Salina. Yeah.
Salina, yeah.
Old neighbor.
Man, that is small world, right? And just us happened to be up there last month, just hanging out, and we're going by those old streets and stuff.
Yep. Drove by the old house.
Heck yeah. Cool. All right.
Yeah, Greg says it's great to see you guys. Heck yeah, Greg.
Cool.
Then we got to have dessert, and we got busted here.
Got busted by Larry, both hands. I mean, we couldn't get away, you know.
This is how you make 700-pound doors.
That's exactly right. What's Larry Hunt saying there? What is he saying?
Yeah, Larry says, out at Mel Hamilton Ford in Wichita at the Mid America Dragway booth, talking Titans of 10-5 Racing Series and also Ozark Raceway Park. Bobby Mount, Gary Harper, and Mrs. Harper discussing a 390 surface for Titans race. That's right. Gary Putnam and Rodney Dowell stuffing their faces with cake because the 700-pound doors just aren't heavy enough. Good times.
Well, and I'm here to tell you, this whole scene was Bobby Stahl's fault. Steve Baker, Bobby Stahl went over there with the cake, and he's like, "Hey, we got the cake over here at Phil's office." I didn't even know about it until they brought it over. So I mean, so that was good stuff there. We got who we got back there behind there? Isn't that Greg there with the Chryslers, that family car?
Yep, Greg Freebus and Shannon and Brian.
Yeah. Oh, this was bench racing at a level 3 right here, because Greg's got the family car. Is it more race chassis?
Yes.
There in Missouri there. Yep. And we got to see a sneak peek of that on Facebook this week, if I was remembering right.
Yep. And we're going to have to get with him and maybe get some little deeper inside pictures of that little hot rod as it gets a little closer. And so he's expecting to have it back home in late March. He's hoping and work the entire month of April and try to make Titans in May, he said.
That'd be fantastic. Yeah. And it's got one of them Gen 3 Rob Gross, Hemis like Troy Aves, all those Billet Boys. Yeah, that's what we need. That's a new nickname for them too, the Billet Boys.
Billet Boys. Because, back in the Pro Stock days, you had the Dodge Boys.
That's it. They're the
Alderman and Jeffrey on. Yeah. Now we got the Billet Boys.
Yep. Easy Cleavers. Hell yeah.
Man.
That's awesome. It's official. It's official right now. I'm saying it.
Billet Boys.
Yeah. Aves will like it. Chime in, Aves. Right. I see you.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's another little view of the people and the little checkout counter there. And it was a good time.
Yeah.
There's some cars there. One of Bobby Stahl's cars. This really cool.
One of Bobby's.
One of, I don't know how many he's got. I don't know.
Yeah, big block Chevy. And it's a beautiful 69 Camaro. So I've been working on it for a little while. It's a big tire car. Just really nice. He fired it up, as well. And
a couple times.
Yeah. And
I stuck my nose in there.
Yeah.
I stuck the nose in the door, side of the door there, and peeked in the interior. And I'm like, man, this would be, you look out the front, the big blower.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, man, this would be fun to cruise around in.
Oh, yeah. This is the car I think he had in the little Cars for Charity last month, too, in the downtown Wichita, the big event.
Right. Okay. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Here's the Nightingale's late model.
That's right. And they just got
this up.
Yeah, they fired this bad boy up, and that's a I was going to mess around because it's got a Ford in it. That's that's a D3 Ford motor there, and it sounded so crisp, man, when he fired that bad boy up. And they're going to do good things with this thing. This is a brand new car for them for this season, and I'm just excited to see them out there, And so it was pretty cool seeing all that things. This thing was slick, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a nice looking car.
Very nice. And do you know who this was? It said Michael Manning or something?
Michael Manning?
Yeah.
No.
Beautiful car.
But it was a nice looking car, though.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, a little small tire car. Hopefully he can make it out to Matt as well, Don't know what tire. It was just, I believe it had a slick on it, so I don't know if he's doing a prep or what he's doing, but a very nice little car.
Yep, it looks good.
Yeah. Bernie Holzman. That's it.
Yep.
So I got a story.
Yeah.
So I took this picture there and just a story on this. And so you can see, these are pictures from back in the day. And like I remember myself, like right now, I'll tell you a quick story. Like I'm 12 years old and I'm at M&M Dragway. You know what I mean? That's before it was KID, before it was WIR. And I would go to the fence and watch Vern Holzman and his AMX get on the top picture above. It had a small block Chevy with a Roots blower on it. And let's go to that next picture. And then you can see right here, it's on the showroom floor here. And I know it's been around. Chuck Rupert had it for a little bit. I don't know all the details. I believe he restored it. But this is Vern Holzman's car. And I just want to take a couple pictures of it and just show, because local Wichita here, this is some history. The Holzman family with Robbie and everything, and his boys, Chad Holzman, that helps out with the Junkyard Stewed. But and so when I saw this, I had to take a couple pictures. Of course, Bobby Stahl's name's all over it. It's one of his
right.
He owns and stuff. And so, but yeah, I just had to take a picture of that too. It was cool seeing that car out and about.
Yeah, it's a cool car. And you know what else that says about Bob with the Camaro there and this car? Bob knows how to build a really nice car.
Oh yeah,
man, nice stuff.
Cool.
Yep, that's the end of the Mel Hamilton stuff. And
cool.
Yeah, it was a great time, man. It was really cool.
Blast. Super good time. And even with a little bit of weather, people were still just out and about and doing their thing. And, like we were talking about, you kind of wait your turn to walk through the aisle. There's so many people, getting to the parts room or over to the food chow. And it was a really good time, seeing a lot of people, seeing Jordan Campbell there.
Yeah, that's right.
There.
Jordan, Tate Cheever. Yep.
Yeah. Chris Durrell.
Yep.
But yeah.
And they told us, Nick and Phil told us Tuesday they're going to bump it back a week to get away from this Daytona weekend.
Yeah.
And
good idea.
Yeah.
I see Clayton Boyer watching. Mr. Clayton. Is that what's that, Gary? Is that the boss man? Is that
he's the boss?
The boss?
That's right. The track boss. That's right.
Cool. Well,
yes, very good.
You think we could round up a couple of legends to come on the show tonight?
I think so. I really do.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah. I was thinking about something. Steve Baker, Bob Stahl, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever notice that their initials are the same but flipped? You ever notice that?
No, no.
Yeah.
I did not.
You think they planned that?
Probably.
I mean? Yeah. Well, if they're not busy, let's dial them up and bring them in and talk about some racing.
All right. Let's fix this and do this. There's Steve Baker and Bobby Stahl.
Hey,
what's up, guys?
What's happening?
What's happening? Man, you look good. I see you clear. I hear you clear. Thanks for taking time to come on.
Oh, yeah. Next time you tell me 15 to 20 minutes and I have to sit here with this man and entertain him.
That's funny.
That is funny.
We were also taking the notes of the jabs of the things we couldn't respond back to.
Oh, yeah. That's how you lock it in.
Oh, yeah.
I've been racing with Bobby since the 1900s. I know how it is.
Man.
Oh, man.
Me and Ron.
That's the only way I get a story in. Yeah. Oh, man. What's Tony Whitmore saying?
You're already getting shit on it. Tony says there's a couple of turtles.
What's going on?
See, I planned on saying something nice about Tony, but shots fired.
Yeah, shots fired. Scratch that off the list.
Hey, no, now listen, I don't like to start this. Tony started it. Ask him if he's ever beat me.
Oh.
But don't ask him if you've ever beat me. I have been privy to that red Mustang whooping my ass.
Tony, hey, awesome. Ron, I don't like to instigate. Tony started it.
That's it. It's documented, man. We got it.
Right here.
Right here. That's awesome.
Heck, Rod, when we were racing, Tony was just a little.
Oh, I know.
Little turd.
12, 15 years old, out there with his dad.
I showed you that picture yesterday. Remember that picture we looked at? And he was he was at the fence.
Yeah, we'll show that here in a little bit. We got it.
Hey, I think he's in another one too, where your white Camaro is launching, and I think he's in the background of it too.
Yeah, he's probably in the next race at that time. Yeah,
he was just a little turd.
Cool. So hey guys, let's start for a second. Start the show. Appreciate you guys coming on. We tried to bring you in about a month ago, and you had autograph sessions at the White House and other things going on, so you couldn't make it. And so now we were able to line the stars up, and we locked it in yesterday, and we're just going to take some time and to talk. And so we might ask like a pointed question to Steve or a pointed question to Bobby, because you're both kind of on, and then there'll be times where, who wants to answer whatever. But so we'll kick it off, and I'm going to start with Steve. And I told you this yesterday. I'm going to ask you both, what was your first high school car? What did you drive in high school that you took, back and forth? So Steve, what'd you have?
I had a 1978 Camaro.
Ooh.
And actually, it's kind of funny because Bob will contest to his too. But yeah, I had a 1978 Camaro baby blue with the white vinyl interior. Krager's on it. Thought I was the shit.
Oh yeah.
Car was slow as hell. Sounded good though.
Sure.
We used to, in Clearwater, we had probably a little 3 or 4 mile strip where we drug up and down what we consider to be our small version of Douglas Avenue in the morning before school. And then we do that after school too. And that was just kind of the hangout thing that we did. And actually not my first taste of cars. I know you asked about the first car. My dad got me into Camaros years and years ago. His very first car was a blue 68 Camaro as well.
Dang.
A little 327 in it. Wasn't really anything radical. Had the big tires. Back then they weren't tucking tubs and doing all that stuff. They poked out the side and looked like the frog hopping down the road type deal. But got into that and started working with Dad. He wasn't a mechanic, but he could throw motors in and out and stuff like that, and do some tuning and stuff like that. And so that kind of got me when I was probably about 10 or 11 when I started getting into it that way. But yeah, the 78 Camaro was my baby. That was the one that got me to be the Chevy guy.
Right on. So did you have the fastest car in high school?
That was my high school car, because growing up on a farm, if you ask my real first vehicle, it was a truck, a field truck running back and forth, hauling hay and grain and stuff. But no, the very first car I ever got saved up after working a lot of summers in the field and whatnot, Dad took me over on Broadway, where have all the car lots over there, and picked up the 78 Camaro for, I think it was like $2,600 back then. That was a ton of money.
Sure.
We went down to the local bank and signed my life away with Dad's credit behind me. And
heck yeah.
I guarantee there wasn't one late payment.
So had a lot of fun with that.
And then that car ended up getting stolen, didn't it?
Yeah. So kind of this, we'll probably get into a little deeper, but kind of the story behind how Bob and I met. I worked for a guy named Dan Fletcher. His boy races with us now. It's Joe Fletcher. But I started, I don't want to say mechanicking, but after high school, need a little job because I couldn't work in the fields anymore. So I needed something a little extra to do on the side. So I started working with Dan, just doing oil changes and tire swaps and stuff like that. And got into my first motor with him, and didn't know a damn thing of what I was doing, but I could pay attention and hand the guy a wrench. And he kept welling on about this guy named Bobby Stahl, this and that. I'm like, oh, he ain't nothing. Who the hell is Bobby Stahl? He ain't fast. And because back in the day when I was in high school, a guy I grew up around when we raced, there's a guy named Troy Tatro. You guys probably heard of Troy.
Oh, yeah.
He used to have a split bumper, yellow, I believe it was 70 or 71 Camaro. And I tell you what, he set the standard back then. Everybody wanted to be like Troy.
Sure.
So that kind of got that going there. And then, after that, I was working with Dan, and excuse me, I had to leave the car up there one night because we pulled the motor out and we left it outside, which was the wrong thing to do. But you didn't think anybody come up and steal the car with a motor out of it and this and that, one or the other. But it found its way to somebody else's garage, and we never found out what had happened from there. So,
man. Dang. Yeah, Phil Nightingale, he's asking a question about that car. Go ahead, Gary.
Yeah. Phil, just right when you started telling that story, Phil asked if Steve, do you still have the Camaro?
Dang.
I don't. I wish I look at, Facebook and I shop around all these other places, and that's kind of a rare car. I mean, it's when I say rare, to the fact that it's either destroyed or people just don't have them anymore. But I'd love to be able to find one and go back and restore it, kind of like what I had. But you'll see 76s, 77s, and 79s and 80s. But that 78, for some reason, was kind of a hard year to find right now. And either that or everybody's holding on to what they have.
Yeah.
Right.
Bobby, what about you?
Hi, Phil and Ups. I like my buddy Phil. I got to say hi to him. Listen, anyway, I got a big story. I was 15 years old, and I was driving my dad's pickup, and we were sitting at this big D parking lot drinking beer in the parking lot, and my Camaro went driving by the bridge, and I said, there goes my car, and I jumped in the truck and chased him down and gave me a ride in it, and a lot of people wanted my Camaro back then, and he ended up selling that car to me. So I still have my very, very first high school car.
Is that the white car?
The white and black Camaro, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
and this was in Newton when this happened? This was in Newton?
Yes. I was in the Big D parking lot, and a lot of people were mad because he sold it to me, but I got the car. My dad said I'd get the car if he came down to 2,500. I worked at a gas station, a mobile station back then. And I told my dad that he did come down to 2,500, and then I just snuck him 300 behind his back. You know what I'm saying? I got my white car for $2,800.
Man,
what in it had a little Monza engine in it with a 488 gear, and
wow.
And I went ahead and went from there. And of course, in high school back in the 80s, that was some good times. I got the car at 78, I think. And back then, now guys, interest rate was 18%.
Oh yeah.
That's and the reason I know that is because anything negative went across that table. My dad co-signed a note for me, and my dad said, "What's the interest rate?" And he said 18%. And dad said, "Ain't that a little high?" That was negative to me. I didn't care if it was 28%.
Yeah.
I wanted
Who cares? The car, yeah.
So anyway, I ended up paying it off and building motors. My dad never liked racing, but he was afraid I was going to kill myself. And
right. Oh.
Froze
up just a little bit.
Freeze up. They'll come back.
Okay, back on.
Yeah.
There we are.
So anyway, he always worried about us dying in the car because I liked racing. And when I was 15, I was hooked from there. And then I started building motors. I met Daryl Palmer when I was 17, Palmer's Automotive, and I built my first motor then. And then, man, we was out at Paradise. They had a track at Paradise every Saturday and Friday night. We had it marked off quarter mile. You pull up there, and Ron, I'm telling you, you guys had to wait for people to get out of the way to get up to the starting line because everybody loved racing. It was exciting back then. A lot of fun. Cops pull up.
Yeah. Oh, dang it.
Come on.
Oh, dang it.
Are we losing you guys?
Yeah, a little bit. Just come with it. It's just freezing up a little bit.
Yeah, the cops pull up and they said, "What are you doing, Stahl?" I didn't lie to them. And what are we going to do, sit and lie to them? What are we doing out here? I said, "Well, I just got done beating that one, and I beat that one, and I beat that one." I said, "Till you showed up, I was getting ready to take this one out." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Corey Bessie was out there in the day. I'm telling you, back in the 70s and 80s, it was unreal. It was a good time. Yeah. Nowadays, if you pulled up and the cop pulls up and you see spin the tires, hey, that's so bad today, you're going to jail and throwing the key away.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Back then, it was good time. But that's my very first car.
Right.
And then
Gary, got a picture of that
one? Say what?
I do.
I want Gary to throw a picture up of it.
Yeah, we catch a couple comments here. Bryson Ryan says Bobby Stahl is a bad mofo.
That car back in the day, like I said, I used to run 840. So I was ahead of my time. I never realized it. I had drum brakes and a parachute.
Yeah.
Okay. And
I remember that car.
I wasn't worried about stopping. I just wanted to go fast. And there was a few times they forgot to pull the parachute
pin. Yeah.
And I went through the quarter mile at 163 mile an hour on the brakes.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, at the end, them brakes were smoking.
So, oh man, Bobby Stahl.
Yeah, that was some crazy days, right? There's my high school picture right there. Senior in high school. That was the king of the hill right there. 4-speed.
Slot mags on them.
Had this big slots jacked up.
Had Mickey Thompson M15s on it with air shocks and 4-speed. And man, we had some good times. Man, if that car could talk, we'd all be in trouble.
And to be able to say that you still have that car, like that's 1 in a million right there.
Yeah. I cut the roll bar out of it and had Cooter's Body Shop in Goddard go through everything. I mean, frame off, new frame, everything. The only thing original on that car is the roof and the deck lid.
Okay.
And that's my very first. That car will never be raced. I got a big block in it, 462 big block, made 639 horsepower on the dyno, pump gas, and it just sounds awesome. It's got a sniper intake on it, throttle body, and It's a very beautiful car.
Oh, love it, love it, love it.
I don't know. Do you got an updated picture of it?
Oh yeah, we got a lot coming, Bob.
Yep.
We're gonna
We'll
catch
get there.
some comments here. A lot of guys are digging on Bobby Stahl. What do you got, Gary?
Yeah. Michelle Brown says Bobby is the man.
Hey guys, I'm just human. I'm just human. And Phil Nightingale, me and Phil used to race in the day.
Hey, don't be tell him getting laundry out there about Phil. Come on.
Well, we used to race in the day. Me and Phil had a good old time.
Yeah.
He loves the
ET. Rod.
He loves the ET slots, Phil says.
Yeah, that were N50 15s, air shocks. That car was pretty bad.
That was the recipe, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
back in the 80s and 70s. Them were bad boy.
Johnny Nitro says, how fast do you want to go?
That's it. Remember Johnny Nitro?
Yeah, I know Johnny.
Newton legend, Johnny says. Bad Bobby.
Well, them days were just, God, I can't. If I had to relive it, I wouldn't change nothing.
There you go.
I'm telling you, them days were something.
You might change one thing the day you lined up against me. You might change that.
Well, hey, if I had another chance, I'd take you out.
Yeah.
Just messing, Bobby.
I know it. But no, them days, racing days, the track was full. If you got up and left to go get you a hamburger, you lost your seat.
There you go.
Right.
The MSRA days, that, like I said, that Camaro was way ahead of its time. I left the line one time and spit the rear end out, ruined the drive shaft, broke the transmission, and overrived the motor at the same time.
Yeah.
Junked it.
That was the night Wayne Roberts got burned up. He was cleaning up my mess. And
that was Summer Nationals.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, that car should have never been doing what it was doing, but it was all together. And I put that car on the bumper many times and carried them all the way down the quarter mile. It's been crazy. So it's amazing. I can't even believe that car's been through all that, but it has.
I'm just so glad you restored it the way you have too. That's awesome.
Yeah, Gary Stevens, he's my painter too, and he rents a barn from me, and he's painted the blue car.
Yeah,
and painted my race car, and man, we go back a long ways too, and he said that car really needed restored. He was going to do it, and he really didn't have the time to do it. So I had my buddies Cooters Body Shop, and they do awesome work too. Steve's car's been painted by Cooters and out in Goddard. And man, you don't see a lot of body shops restore cars like that anymore.
Right.
So
we got some more pictures of the white Camaro, about 3 or 4. But you also sent this. What is this?
That is my 69 yellow and black Camaro that I had. I won Summer Nationals with that on Pro. The sun was coming up. That didn't really that had a 12 bolt with a spool in it. And then I overpowered it. I bought Pat Daniels 468. Oh, yeah. And that thing used to twist in the middle. I used to carry the wheel halfway down the quarter mile, the left front wheel. And it was consistent. I could pull it off the trailer. It'd run 1060 all day long. And ended up winning Summer Nationals with that. The sun was coming up back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day, Rod.
I know it.
You couldn't line Super Pro and Pro up at the same time. You had to line Pro up once and Super Pro up.
200 cars show up in one class.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, it was good times.
Man, Pat Daniels, that's another legend around here, man. You're just dropping names left and right.
Yeah. Yeah, Pat and Jeff Gillis, they had the same cars.
Yeah.
I mean, they were identical. Yellow and big blocks in them. They run right neck into each other.
Speaking of, back to Steve Baker for a second. You were talking about the legend, that you would race and you looked up to, when you were coming up. When I was at Whitlock Auto Supply working with David Gray, that Jeff Gillis poster, that billboard was over Super Shops. You guys remember that?
Yep.
Back there. He's watching right now, Jeff Gillis is. Yeah. It's that banana yellow is a big block. Nitrous. I remember him racing Mitch Brown on 29th in Ohio one night. I don't know if you remember that, on a motorcycle. And but yeah, that poster, I mean, a billboard of your car said Wichita's fastest street car. I think it went like 940s at that time, at 140 or something like that.
I think it was 960s or something.
Okay.
60 something.
And but yeah, I just saw him on there, and I flashed back to when Steve was talking about, because, you try to be the bad boy of the moment, and that sort of thing. And he was kind of back then for us, but cool stuff. What's Tracy Lynn saying?
Tracy Lynn says, I remember the first time I met Bobby, Tony, and Steve several years in 2016. 1,000 if they could drive my scat in a pass.
You know that story, Bobby? Steve?
There.
Yeah, we didn't want none of that beautiful car. We were not trying to put it into the rail.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned 29th in Ohio. You're going back to kind of me and Gary's days now, because we were chopping it up a little bit at Mel Hamilton. And that's where really racing originated for me on motorcycles. That's okay. That's my first. Yeah. Back in the day, there was Dave Polk, Dave Sturdy, Richard Ganser, Paul Baxter, a bunch of my buddies from Mays. That's when we used to go over there, and we'd stay out all night racing up down in 29th in Ohio.
Yeah,
we had a blast over there. I had the smallest bike out there, but I had one of the best tuners around, Scott Smith, a kid I went to school with in Clearwater, and I had that little 600 F2, and I was just tearing the hell out of those guys on those 750s. Sure. They couldn't stand it, but that was some of the funnest days that I ever had over there. And then I smartened up and got off a bike and got in a cage.
Yeah, I hear you. Hang around with Tracy Lee at that point. He was kind of running at the same time. He had a little bike as well.
Name, but you just so many people. It's just it's one of those things where it's like what we have now. It's a big family.
Yep.
And we continue to love everybody that we come across, new, old. We're starting to meet some people now that coming into the 470 classes and the 580 classes that are, coming from out of state to hang out with us, and just a great group of guys to hang out with, enjoy what we're doing. With the kind of I don't say total decline, but a little bit of down activity recently, or in the last couple of years that we're facing with racing. These guys are moving around, and we're kind of like I'm gonna piss everybody off and say we're going to try to make racing great again.
That's so good.
Yeah, you ain't making no man. Gary, put the white one on there.
Yeah.
Jeff Gillis confirms 943.
143 back in the day. That was fast.
Hey, Bobby. Bobby, here. You got to put that ink pen down.
Oh, the clicking.
Somebody's
clicking a pen.
All right.
What else you got? There you go. Oh,
there we go. Woo, look at that.
That was the Camaro days right there.
Yep.
So, and I got to confess that one night I was racing Steve Ash on an Anthony Dawkins race.
Yeah.
And I put that on the bumper. Came down, I hit the gas, picked it back up. It was way too high again, let it out, came back down and picked it back up. And I carried the wheels all the way down to the end of the quarter mile, laid them down, and ran an 8.99, I think, and beat Ash. And everybody said, Bobby's showing off again. I just wanted to win.
I know.
I wasn't trying to show off. I just had to win.
Yeah.
And I ended up beating Ash that night. And Ash has tried to beat me in the Blue Mustang, never has won.
Yeah.
He could have one time, but his conies wasn't big enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, he let out on the 1,000-foot mark, got a little squirrely, and I went by him, and I got sideways too, but it was good times. It was good times. But Ken from Midwest Gillette was out there that night, and I never knew Ken till I walked in to get a tranny done. He goes, I know you. And he said exactly what I just did. That's exactly what happened. It was wild. It was crazy. So there's all the crowd. Look at all the crowd behind that.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I think Tony's back there. Look
Look at that baby face right there.
Little kid. Look at little Tony.
Yeah. Next
Tony
to the
had diapers on still.
Yeah.
Tony had diapers on still. Depends.
Dang. Yeah. So everybody that's listening
out of the house.
Hold on a second, Bobby. Everybody's listening. If you look right behind Bobby's roof line, right where the telephone pole is to the left, and the white T-shirt. That's Tony Whitmore right there. He can chime in. He's probably in the 9th grade, 10th grade right there. But
just a little tat.
Yeah, every minute of it, man. See, and guys like you and his dad got him into racing.
Huh?
Guys like you and his father got him into racing.
Oh, I know it. Yeah, Tony's came a long ways. Yeah, he's a bad boy now.
Yep.
Yeah,
he's man. 007.
Is
look
this
at the
like
crowd, guys? Look at the crowd. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Remember some good times, Rod. You were there.
I know it.
Man.
Is this like early 2000s, the MSRA days, late 90s, early 2000s?
Early 90s. That was early 90s.
Yeah, that was for MSRA. Wayne would put on some heads up stuff, small tire, big tire. You had to have mufflers, and that was it.
Yeah, it was good. That was a drag radio right there. I was running the drag radio class.
Right.
Yeah, at home.
But man, I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah.
Good times.
Is that Tony again?
That car will never be raced. Is that Tony right there behind me? See, look at that. Tony wanted to be Big Daddy. Tony enough of that. He wanted to be a part of it.
Whitmore saying he just chimed in.
Did he?
He did.
Yeah. What are you saying, Gary?
Tony says, I didn't miss no heads up stuff, but this was definitely O's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
that's what I was thinking too.
Because you got the drag radios on right there too. That's when you, Rodney Williams,
Right.
The cat from Newton in the blue or the purple Dodge Duster, Steve Ash, the kind of the locals there. Oh, right. Tony's saying that ain't him in the.
Tony says it's not him. All right.
That's not him in the gray jacket?
Yeah.
No, he says it's not.
All right.
But here's another one too, like in the red jacket. Is that Flip?
No, that's Chuck from Bear Tire.
Okay.
I think that's Chuck.
Yeah.
From Bear Tire, Chuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so no, them were some good days.
Bobby, let me ask you a quick question. You even have a seatbelt on right now when you're in this thing? You got a seatbelt on during this?
Back then, I really wasn't worried about safety.
I know, man.
I just wanted to race. I really wasn't worried about safety. I mean, I just go,
I know.
People would always get on me because they would always let me slide and they would get teched and get in trouble. I'd have seatbelts that were probably 10 years old, and stuff like that. But it was good times.
It was. Gary, another one was Campbell. Shannon had his white hatch, during this time.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That's right.
Yep. Shannon Campbell, that was me and him run one night. We had a little showdown.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, cool.
Fun times.
That's so cool. We still got this car.
What did it run like in this configuration here?
846, 163 mile an hour. That was in Tulsa. That was the fastest time. And Rod was there that night.
Yeah, I was there that night.
846, 163 mile an hour. So
awesome.
And that was turned down. I mean, I couldn't use it all. I had a 500 horse progressive or a 500 horse nitrous on a progressive, NOS nitrous progressive on it.
Was it like a 468 or what was it?
No, it was a 468, and then down the road I built a 496. But I was running 468 there.
Yeah.
And then I built me a 496, and that's when I started running away from Rodney Williams.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'll get that one. Yeah.
Neck and neck.
Yeah.
And then when I put the 496 in, I'd run him out the back door. It didn't matter.
And everybody, Rodney had a 57 Chevy. He had the SB2 NASCAR engine, basically with a Doug Nash 5-speed with a slip clutch deal.
Super cool.
Yeah, I went to Tulsa to race. He went to Ark City to race, and he ended up rolling that thing.
Yeah, he did. He rolled at Ark City. Yeah.
I said, I'll go down and win Tulsa. You win Ark City. And I came back and won. And he
had that original steering wheel in it, too, where you drive that thing and shifting gears. And, man, I bet that's Stan Williams' father. I bet he's in his 80s now,
Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah, good time.
There's a video on that of me and Rodney racing in Tulsa. He about hitting the wall on that fastest video or crazy wrecking videos or whatever, Steve. What is that?
Oh, yeah.
You see
the hillbilly videos where you're talking about.
Urban Hillbilly?
Yeah.
There's a video on that.
Yeah.
Bob, was this like an all steel car with like a fiberglass?
Yeah, the only thing fiberglass was a hood.
What did it weigh?
The car was 3,500 pounds.
Woo!
Yeah. Back in the day. So I was ahead of its time. I didn't realize it, but I was racing some of them guys in Tulsa, and then they come and look at my car. They had disc brakes and all that. And they come up and asked, "What the hell are you doing?" I just looked at them.
I'm whipping your ass. What I'm doing.
It was fun, you know.
Farm kid getting it done.
Yeah. So the car's back to beautiful now, and it'll never be raced again. So there it is.
There it is. Man, good looking car.
Is this on Douglas? Where is this? What year is this?
That's on Main Street. On every year in Newton, they have a cruise night, the night before car show in May. And man, that's when there's a lot of iron in Newton. And I was waiting on a train right there. And
what year is this, Bobby?
Huh?
What year is this right here?
69.
No. What year?
Oh, that was last year.
Last year.
Okay.
Yeah, that was last year.
So it was after you restored it.
Yep. It's sitting in the garage. I had it at Mel Hamilton here a couple of years ago.
Yeah, last year. That's when you
It wasn't
had it.
last year. It was the year before.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good looking car.
Yeah, a lot of history there. A lot of beautiful. Wow.
You say it's got a big block in it now?
Yeah, it's got a 462 big block with a sniper intake.
Oh, cool.
Throttle bodies. All injected. Very nice car.
No, it's cool.
Yeah, it looks real good.
Cooter's Body Shop did that one. And that one was a frame off. And like I said, it's all been redone. It's gorgeous, actually. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It's super nice.
So, but then we go on.
That was a good line.
Then we go on to the racing field. After I got done the Camaro racing, let's see, what did I get? Well, I built my Chevy too.
Yeah. When did you start building that? What year?
Golly, Rod, I don't know. Back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Because I retired the Camaro back in the late 90s. It was back in the late 90s. And then I built the Chevy too and came out with the Chevy too. And that's been a fun car too. There's a lot of history there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was telling my boy, you don't just get trophies showing up. You got to do something.
Yeah.
That's my little showroom. I got the family over there on the right. And so when people come over, I show them a little show and tell and little history there. And the newspaper came in, did a big write-up on me. And then the kids are on the other side, right there on the right-hand side. And when they were in their prime, Braxton and Janessa and Blasey. So I got 3 kids, and they've always supported racing. When I go racing, it was a family deal.
That is, man. You've earned every one of those trophies, and good job. I was out there when you were winning them too. That's good stuff, man. Good job.
Yeah,
I see a WDRA rod on the floor there.
I do too, on the very right.
Yep, that was just last year.
Yeah.
And what was cool about it, my twin brother got one the same day.
Oh, that's awesome. Are you talking about me?
Billy, no.
I got one that day too.
Yeah,
you got one too.
Ron, I got a twin brother named Bill.
Oh, do you?
He won the 580 class.
Oh, okay. Hell, you guys.
That was unique. Perfect. That was unique. Me and him got one together.
That is pretty cool. Actually.
Cool.
Same day.
So check this out. We got Kendall D watching, Alan Blue watching, Mark Moore watching, Jordan Campbell watching. They all jumped on.
Cool.
Yeah.
See the champ.
Yep.
Yeah,
cool picture. You got that. There you go. That's the picture I want to see right here. Look at this, Bobby.
Yeah. The bottom of this trophy on that label says Kansas International Dragway Rusty Egg Ford 2014 Summer Nationals Auto Smart Outlaw, 2nd place.
Nice job.
And that's that
MSRA hat. You don't see them anymore.
No.
That is rough.
Yeah. Man, I tell you what, that was some good times with Trey Stoles and Shane Gilstrap. They stuck their neck out there doing that MSRA stuff. And I know we were out there supporting it. Kurt Riffle, Todd Kitchen, Stan, Corey. I mean, those were the days, man. That's 1998 right there.
Yeah.
Man.
That's some good times. Like I said, Rod, in the day, if I had the chance to do it all over and save my money, I wouldn't do it, because you live once.
There you go.
Yep. And you're going to die out with memories. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
And you ain't going to take the money with you, but you'll take the memories,
There you go. Well said.
And man, there were some good days. Days.
No, that's awesome.
Mrs. Harper says the 470 and 580 were swept by the Stahl brothers that day.
There you go.
Yeah.
Racing for the ride.
That's pretty cool.
And Billy didn't race a lot. He came out and his car was right on and got right on the money. He ran a 580 on the money in the finals. And I told him, if you don't cut a light, boy, I said, you're letting the car down. And he did his job. He cut a heck of a light that time.
Well, he must have done all right. 580's got some killers in there with Charles and Steve. I mean, there's a lot of cool cars. I know Tanner won one night doing 580s. There's a lot of
there's good competition in the 580.
Yeah,
sure is. So
right on.
But good days. I built that car. I was going to race it, but I built it too nice. I got race cars, so I'm not going to race it no more. I mean, I'm not going to race it. It's just a beautiful show car.
Yeah. What is this? Is it a 580 something or what kind of motor is it?
That's a 555 with a 1071 blower, and it made 940 horsepower on the motor dyno.
Okay.
And it wasn't turned up. It wasn't cranked up. It was just just got the normal pulleys on it. So we don't need to crank it up any more than that. Yeah. But yeah, it's got blue pearl in the white. That car's really Gary Stevens has been painting since he was 13. And man, he saw the white car and he wanted to outdo the white car. And I let him paint that car. And man, I mean, unreal. He did a hell of a job.
Very cool.
And me and Gary
Cars for Charity last month, Bobby?
Yes. Yep. That was at Century 2 at Cars for Charity.
Very cool.
Yep.
All right.
And what is this?
That car's the Gremlin. That used to be a Holzman car. Robbie Holzman, I think, used to race that one back in the day. And I think it was red or orange. Yeah. I think it was red. And Chuck Rupert got that car.
Right.
And then he sold it to me, and I put a small block in at 385 with 300 horse nitrous and made 950, I think, to the crankshaft horsepower on 300 horse of nitrous. And then we went out on a Wednesday night, and that's what happened there. Tracy was there that night. She took a picture of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I still got that car. I got a 434 I built for it to put in it. It ought to make 700 on the motor and 300. It'll be over 1,000 horsepower in that car.
Yeah.
Dang.
So
Gary,
that's a Holtzman car.
Yeah. Gary, I don't know if you caught that, but Chuck Rupert's Travis's dad.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, me and Chuck go back a long ways, and we're best buds. And then he came to me on the AMX since I had the Gremlin, and he said, "Bob, you want to own both Holtzman cars?" So I ended up buying the AMX from him. He redid the AMX and got it looking what it does now.
Yeah.
And I bought
that was cool that you brought it up to Mel Hamilton, man. I haven't seen that car for a minute. Right.
And a lot of history on that one too.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Vern would like to have that one back, and he's 97 years old,
Mm-hmm.
But I'll never let go. I mean, they only made 6,700 of them in 68.
Yeah.
AMXs. So
when's the last time Vern seen that car?
I think Chuck drove it over there one time quite a while ago, and Vern wanted to buy it.
Sure.
So
yeah,
but it's in a safe place now.
Yeah, there you go. Cool.
Yeah, but before we get to your Chevy too, let's catch some pictures that Steve sent of some of his stuff.
There you go.
All right.
Tell us about this, Steve.
Oh, wow.
What year?
That I don't know if very many people remember this, but I'll throw some names out here. This was Randy Stedham's old car.
Okay.
I think Chris used to drive it for him, his boy. And I couldn't find the original picture when I went over and bought it from him. But kind of the weird story behind it was Randy was like, "Steve, I'll sell you this car, but you need to keep it like this because it's nostalgic." I looked at him and said, "Are you freaking crazy?" I said, "This car, that car's pink. You can't tell it, but that car's pink." I said, "There ain't no damn way I'm driving a Bobby Stahl car with pink with blue flames. You got me messed up." Anyway. So anyway, the story behind that was when I first met Bob, I told him what I was looking for and, told him I was a little green behind it. And he knew Randy, and obviously being with Daryl since he was 15 years old, they got together and Randy said he had this car and it was setting up in Furley. And so I got a hold of Bob and we went up there. I think it was a Saturday. We went up on a Saturday and I knew what he wanted for it, so I already knew that I was going to get the car no matter what the hell he was going to ask for it because I wanted it because I'd seen pictures of it and I knew what we could do with it.
There you go.
So we went up there, and it was sitting on a lift, and I just kind of looked at it, and truth be told, it was a mess. We opened the passenger's door, and I think wires and shit come falling out of it.
Rewired. It needs some loving.
And so I looked at Bob, and I said, "Can we make it work?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay." So I think we even brought the trailer with us. We were ready. We weren't, when the guy tells us,
we weren't playing.
We were ready. So we brought the trailer up there, and Randy had that old scoop hood on there, and he had a bunch of extra parts and this and that and one or the other. And at the time, he didn't want to let go of the motor. It was just a roller at that time.
Yeah.
And because they were going back and forth. They had, I think it was he had like a 498 in it, I think, or something like that. And he had a 500 cubic inch motor that he wanted to sell. Anyway, I had bought the motor from him too. I mean, I basically got that whole entire car plus the motor and everything.
Roy Jarvis was using that motor.
Yeah, Roy Jarvis was using it. I got into this car for motor and car for 18.5, everything. And then was looking to find a different motor for it, and Randy had a motor then too. Was the one Jarvis? Well, no, that was the 498.
We ended up getting the 498.
We got the 498, and before we got it, the deal was that it was supposed to go over Daryl's to get freshened up. Well, Jarvis had it in that Auto Smart car, and I didn't think too much about it. I said, hey, it's a normal motor, this and that, one or the other, and I went up there and knew that night that he was going to be running my motor because it was the last race of the night. And, as we all know, loved Roy Jarvis to death. Great guy. It's just hit or miss. Either he's going to run an 11 second or he's going to run a 550.
Well, he actually ran a 501 with that motor on nitrous.
501. And that night I knew that motor was going to that car.
There you go.
After that night, I told Jarvis, I said, take my motor home and be careful. I think Randy brought it up. Yeah, Randy brought it up to Daryl, and then Bobby got it. They tore it all down, freshened it up, made sure everything was good with it. We got it back in there, and I think it actually turned into like just a little over a 501 or 502 after.
Well, you were running quarter mile back then.
Yeah, we were running quarter miles.
You were running 890s.
Yeah,
90 with it.
Yeah. And this car also originally, when I got this I never took that car down the track looking like that. I took it over to
yours.
Well, no, it went to Randy or K&L. It went to,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it went to Larry Ortez over on yeah. So I used to work with Larry at Learjet years ago, and I say money was tight, but I didn't know how far I was going to get with it, this and that, one or the other. So I said, Randy, just throw me a $2,000 paint job on there so it looks halfway decent. Right. So he basically did all that for me. And then, as we kind of progressed and got down the road, we started looking at it. Obviously, want to go faster. This was a ladder bar car when we first got it. Knew that we were going to start throwing more power to it, and knew that that ladder bar wasn't going to work. We were going to have to link it. So we got a hold of a Holzman, and it was Chad at that time. He was still over there with Rob, and told him what we wanted. And of course, it's like being in a candy store. Oh, okay, 4-link. Oh, you got the new Delta wheels you can get me at a discount. Oh, you can. So I threw 10
more money.
Yeah,
because the baker got it.
No, I just very bad decisions.
Don't let him lie to you. He just throwed that money out there.
So we threw some dollars at it, and started liking it, and then we
got that money like Tony Loomis.
Put a new wing on it, redesigned the hood. That hood wouldn't fit anymore with the taller deck motor. And just enjoyed it. Had a fun time. Actually,
well, I was out of town. You went racing without me. You end up winning.
Yeah.
In Wichita.
So I was out there, and Bob went out of town, and I'm like, you know what? He ain't going to like this because we ain't really ran together hard yet. I mean, we ran the car down the track.
Sure.
Kind of a funny story was I never left on a trans brake before. So Bob's like, you good? And I'm like, hell no, I ain't good. What do I do?
I bet him money he let off, Rob. Gary, guess what he did? He let off the back.
I didn't even know how the damn trans brake worked. So he backs me up by the tech trailer, and he says, pump the brakes, push in the button, and put it to the floor and then let it go. But don't hold on to it and let out.
That's the line lock.
Or line lock. I'm sorry. The line lock. So
tranny brakes.
Tranny's for the burnout. So I let off of it. And I mean, I'm up here at like $5.5 grand, and everybody in the lanes are looking, what the hell are they doing back there? So that was my introduction to staging up to the light and getting ready to go.
Steve went from a 13-second to an 8 right overnight.
Oh, geez.
Woo! Yeah. The first time I went down, we made a bet that I wouldn't lift. I lost that. Car sounded like a slipping transmission. I was in and out of it so bad. But then that was it. Next race, she was going through the floorboard. She turned out a 911, and with a little bit of tuning, we were getting back down in there into the 890s, high 890s.
Nice.
And then about a couple years later, that's when they switched us over to going to 8th mile, which we really liked, fast, but not as far, less wear and tear on the motors, things like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
you think I get fired up at the races? Steve's on cocaine or something. I have to calm him down.
Yeah,
it's the jelly beans.
I literally, when I go home and lay down, I mean, it's like somebody hit me in the back of the head with a baseball hat because I just love it. I'm so passionate about it. I always tell everybody this: I'm not the guy that builds the motor. I'm the guy that sits in the car and drives. I'm kind of like Tom Cruise in that Round the Track movie.
Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder. Yeah, I don't build it. I just race it. If it wasn't for Bob and honestly Daryl Palmer, I wouldn't be doing this. These guys put me in probably one of the fastest car I ever been in so far. We got the Corvette
because he shifts on its own and everything. All he's got to do is let off the brake. I mean, and freeze, keep the wheel straight.
Yeah, I cowboy it. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I let off of it, and one hand's in the air up by the chute. I don't even know how to pull that because if I did that, I couldn't be on the Stahl racing team.
Yeah.
But that thing just rails. I mean, every car the red Camaro, my street car rails, this car rails. I mean, it just, when you get that kind of experience with these guys that know what the hell they're doing, don't worry about it.
Rod, I'll tell you the reason he's got money. He's got a aluminum block, Brodex block, 540, all Brodex in his street car. The motor is more than the car.
No,
and it made 850.
Yeah,
on the dyno.
If Rod, if you've been around Bobby long enough, he is always getting unheard of deals.
Oh yes.
I think behind closed doors he says, either sell me this or I'm going to break both your arms.
No.
Oh yeah.
I can say God has been good to me, guys.
Amen.
God's in control.
There you go.
And he's blessed me through the years, and I can't say enough about it.
Cool.
Hey, let me back up just for a real quick second, since Tony's on here. I'm gonna give him this little kudos here. So back when we started, did I have the red car before I had this one?
Yes.
Okay. So I had the red Camaro. When I first came to Bob, I bought this car. So many stories and shit happens, and cars come and go. You can't remember what y'all had, but so I started out on the street. I started with
there it is.
Yeah, that's my baby. I started out with that car, 68 Camaro, had a little one-arm Bandit 350 in it. Bought it out of Salina, Kansas. Crazy story behind it. I was looking for the car. I was on Marketplace. I was actually on eBay.
You bought that before you knew me.
Just a little bit before. Yeah.
Okay.
Bought this. I didn't even know where the damn car was. I just bid on it, wanted it, got it. I paid $18,500.
That car's beautiful.
And the nicest thing was I found out where the owner was after, because back then because of all that shit that was going on with people getting killed and stuff, they wouldn't tell you where it was, but you had to pick it up.
Right.
This was in Salina, Kansas.
Whoa. Who owned it? Salina. Who owned it?
Some young cop that was going through a divorce and didn't want his wife to get it.
Wow.
Okay.
Rod and Gary, he stole that car. That car is just as pretty. He never painted it. That's exactly what it looked like when he got it.
Yeah.
Except the wheels. He put the wheels and put a 49-inch in it.
Yeah.
What year was this?
That's a 68.
No, what year did you buy it in?
what year is this? 2000.
Man, I don't even know.
About
You've had it for a while.
2017, 18, somewhere around there.
So pretty recent. Okay.
Yeah.
Steve, it's been longer now.
Maybe it's been longer now. I don't know. It's been a while. But anyway, the story behind this was this car, I was driving around a little bit, never raced it. It had just regular stock Chevy rally rims on it. And so I said, I need to find me somebody that's going to be able to build a car that I want to race in.
Sure.
So this car, and actually Randy helped me not do. I was going to tear this car down and make it what the white one was. So this is
They'll let you do that.
so that's why that's why they both got together and said, don't tear the shit out of this one. Get the white car. We'll do that anyway.
Yeah.
So long story short was I went to Bob, met him. I said, Bob, I want to make this car fast. What I got to do? He said, well, this and that, one or the other. I think this is one of the first tub jobs you ever did.
Mini tubbed
it for me.
Wow.
He built me a little 357 motor. We took this motor out. He built it, bored it up to a 357. And just
put 300 horse of nitrous on it.
300 horse of nitrous on it. And we took it to the dyno, and I think it punched a little over. It was about 550, 600 on motor, and then the nitrous. So anyway, everybody knows in the racing group, they know Mario Williams. We were over at Randy's dyno one day. He was dynoing a big block, and brother got to talking too much shit. So I said, that's really not that fast for a big block, or that much horsepower for a big block. It was, but I wasn't going to let him know that.
Here, I'm friends with Mario and Steve, and they get into it.
Sure.
So I can't say anything. So I'm listening. And so they had a showdown that day that we were going to get it done. And Mario even said that I'm going to give you the hit.
Oh, he screwed. He was so confident that he was going to beat that little small block. And now he was in a, what do you have? He
had a 65 Chevelle
with the big block.
The big block, 460 big block.
Yep. So we pull up over on Hoover.
We were on Hoover.
That's where we were on Hoover.
And it was in the Christmas. It was warm.
We were racing in damn near end of December.
It was like in December. It was beautiful.
Yep. So Mario pulls. We're already out there. We're talking, and he pulls up, and so he gets out, and he, what do you want to do it for? This and that, one or the other. And I said, I don't know. Whatever. He said, let's do it for $200. I said, okay. So Bobby's sitting here over on the side, like, it's like his two kids fighting. Like, who are you supposed to root for?
Well,
and so then I put him in the hot plate even worse. I said, well, here's the deal. Bobby's got to start the race.
Yeah.
We don't flag.
So that was the deal. He had to give Steve the hit. So I was up there and lined him up, and then Steve took off, and Steve beat Mario that time. Mario was mad about it. And so he came back for nothing, and they raced again, and Mario was going to be on his toes this time. And Steve barely got him at the finish line. And I'm telling you, Mario had to pay him double or nothing.
Great story.
Yeah.
Great
and I'm just sitting there just thinking, oh, Lord, I ain't getting in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony, I remember Tony was out there that night.
Well, yeah. So that's where I was going with the story. So at that point in time, I thought I was hot shit. I beat one of the legends, or whoever he thought he was a legend at that time. So Mario got butt hurt, and he secretly goes in and he calls Dustin Norton. Now at this time, turbos were just coming onto the scene, right? And my car was equipped with nitrous, but we didn't have nitrous on it then. We didn't have to run it
when he Mario.
Yeah, when I ran Mario, it was just motor to motor run.
So when you race Dustin Norton, then I put nitrous on it, and Steve wasn't ready for nitrous.
No, so I'm getting this call. I just get out of a meeting, and they say, "Hey, Steve, this is Dustin." I'm like, "Okay." I'm thinking he's a customer getting ready to buy something. He goes, "Hey, what are you doing Saturday night?" I'm like, "Okay, who in the hell is this?" So long story short, I get it out of him. He says, "Well, this guy Mario, is butt hurt over you beating him, and So he wants me to race you. So I go back to Bob and I tell him what's going on. And I said, "This is only information I can give you." I said, "It's a
well, he had turbo.
He has a
so
Fox
we put
body.
Nitrous, put a plate on it.
Yep, he had a Fox body. Yep, he had a turbo, and I knew it was fast. And I said, "What are we going to do?" So Bob said, "Oh, we got this." So we got the 4150 kit. We slapped it on there, and I was honest with Bob. I said, well, I don't want to wreck this damn car. I've never sprayed nitrous before. I don't know how it's going to react. So Dustin comes up and I said, Dustin, just so everything's safe, do you care if Bobby runs the car? He built the car. Can he run the car?
There you go. Big Daddy driving.
Yeah.
He says, I don't care. I said, I'll start the race. It's going to be fair. I said, I'll flag you guys out. So we get down there again when it was fun racing over on Hoover, and we line them up, and I let them go. And I swear to God, that car screamed like I never heard it before. Bobby took off on it. He let it bite, and we were on a button. We weren't on a progressive.
Right.
And then Dustin was spooling up, and it's a nitrous car. He takes out of the hole. You're going to have one hell of a time catching him.
Sure.
Well, Bobby pops that button, and that car leaves, and the ass end just starts turning left on him. Being a good driver he lets out of it again, gets some more
it didn't
rotation.
take me long to hit it again.
Pop
boy.
that son of a bitch again. And there was nothing. Dustin let out. He was done.
Rod, Gary, I was gone.
Gone.
There was no more said. He came back and said, I don't have no chance.
He ain't got nothing for you.
Yeah.
Drove out of his life.
Yeah.
I think Tony was out there too.
Yeah. So
Tony's been at all that stuff.
So I didn't even drive the car, but I thought my nuts were so big I couldn't put them in my pants anymore. so I turn around and I call out Whitmore. Yeah, wrong thing to do.
Well, it would have been a better race on Whitmore. We found out, not making excuses, but the throttle switch, we had it on a throttle switch for Steve.
Right.
And the throttle switch actually moved, and the nitrous didn't actually come on.
Yeah.
Tony spanked him bad, but we ain't making excuses. That was just
Tony's car's fast, no doubt.
But it ran good. Tony runs good too, but it would have been a better race.
Yeah,
sure.
We found out the nitrous switch didn't come on.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Baker, Tony's got a little comment here. He's got an initial for you called BMB. You know what that stands for? BMB.
I just saw Big Money Baker.
I guess so. Is that your initial?
Yeah, right.
Name?
Tony, you're on. I know Baker what he's got.
BMB.
I know what he's got.
No. Hey, I don't live in the Whitmore gated community.
Oh, no,
I've got a 2-bedroom shack, but I got nice cars.
No, Whitmore gated community.
Yeah, Steve's got more in his cars than his house.
There you go.
Hey,
Fine.
Clayton,
Well, I do too. I can't say I don't either.
Yeah, you could probably live in a freaking mansion with what you got.
Yeah.
But,
Clayton Boyer says, wasn't this the start of the blacklist on the street? Is that what started that?
Steve ended up putting that 540 in there. And now listen to this. He don't got a row bar or nothing. And Steve was out there running these guys down. No nitrous or nothing. We have nitrous on it. But I told Baker, I said, I don't care how fast you're going, Baker. You that car starts to roll, you're done. So I got on his case to get him to quit racing on the street because he ain't got a row bar in it. And I've seen another car that rolled on the street that did have a roll bar, and Baker would have been gone.
Sure.
So, you got to think, back in the day, I never thought about safety, but as you get older, safety comes into play. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
So, Baker's car's badass. It's an 8-second car all day long without a row bar, and that's insane. So,
Mario Williams is watching right now too. I just seen.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, what do you got for me now, Mario?
I wonder if he heard the whole story. Did he just get on?
I just seen where he just got on.
Up, so
He missed the whole thing.
Somebody said, hey, Baker's talking shit on you. Get on.
Oh, he can watch it back. As soon as this is over, he can watch it back on YouTube.
Oh, Lord. No, Mario, man. Mario's been,
He's a good dude. I mean, this part of the family, I mean, we always joke Chevy, Ford, this and that, one or the other, but, built a lot of respect for a lot of guys over the years of racing. The street racing scene is, it's not what it used to be. These guys are, the Luke Hansons and those guys that are out there right now. They're just flat out doing it, man. They hook, they're good, they're light. And that's their thing. Us older guys, we want to kind of keep it controlled under the track. And it's kind of like these motorcycle guys. I mean, you guys are, I don't know, crazy or just
I got a comment.
Good at what you do.
I got a comment. Mario Williams put on there. I hear a bunch of lies. Mario knows this. I don't lie.
Oh,
Okay.
my man.
It's one thing I don't need to lie because you got to be the best liar to remember everything. So I don't lie, Mario. And
That's it. Oh,
we had a lot of good times though.
Tony says, I guess now that you got your engine upgrade and whatnot, make sure that switch is tight and let's rerun it.
Run it back.
Tony, that's the whole problem. We ain't got a row bar in that car. And I ain't kidding you. We put nitrous on it. That car would be a monster.
Mm.
But if something happened, I don't want to see my buddy go.
There you go.
So we cut that car back
street days
out.
are done for us.
So, anything can happen on the street, and we're way overpowered now. So like I said, God, if Steve died and I helped to be a part of it, I couldn't live with myself.
Yeah.
If you have a row bar and you're doing everything by the rules, yeah, you can all die from that too. But at least I wouldn't feel as bad, But
you got some of the Gary. You got a picture of his car now, the white. His what he raced the 580 class.
Yep, the Camaro.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Rod, we was at an international. A friend called me out in my Chevelle. I went through that at 970 at 140 mile an hour with a lap belt.
Yeah.
And then I found out I had a front bushing and a front A-arm. I mean,
that's why I asked you earlier if you had your seatbelt on when that pictures. I know how you roll.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, but knock on wood, we haven't had nothing serious happen. But man, you know what happens if it happens at 140 mile an hour, you start rolling, you're done.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Bad day.
That's the night. That's the night we won our Wallies in Wichita.
Yep. We both won Wallies. They had the Wally race that night. I won with Coppertone and he won with his car.
Nice.
So yeah, that was a good night.
There's Coppertone.
Yeah, there's Coppertone right there. 70 Nova. That Nova used to be Jeff Dickey's car.
Okay.
Right, you remember the blue one with the Hillborns hanging out?
Oh yeah.
That used to be Jeff Dickey's car.
Yeah, he's Hayesville.
The light blue Nova. I bought it and redid it and put the cow hood on it, and that car used to be a 580 car. I took my 565 out of it and put a 511 in it, or 514 Anthony Dawkins old street motor.
Yeah.
And that's a 6-wheel car.
Let's just bring it up. Like, how did Stahl Baker Racing start?
Well,
it just happened.
Well, Steve came to me and wanted to race, and then what we wanted to do, we know these racetracks are getting tough on, sponsors because the spectators aren't there as like they used to be, and then the track bite's getting expensive. So me and Steve came together and we talked about putting a program together, Stahl Racing, and help the racetracks. And so we know a lot of sponsors, and we go talk to the sponsors, and from doing that, they would help contribute to keep racing alive. And so me and Steve, where I'm weak, Steve's strong, and where I'm strong, he's weak. So we make a good partnership to help run the show, and me and Steve's become good friends. And then we have a team that helps us run. Tony Loomis, he's my crew chief, and man, he makes sure our people that Trevor Bright and all them guys are on their game. Braxton helps. And we just go out as a big fun night. It's a fun show. We just have a great time, and even if we don't win, we just love being there, being a part of it.
Yes.
And then I help bring money to the table. When Wichita was having all the races, JR was running, I would pay the 580 class and the 470 class. So,
wow.
Then they got all the spectator money. They got all the foods money. They got all the entry money. They didn't have to pay nothing else. What a deal,
What a deal.
And thanks to our sponsors, and we want to talk about them too. So, so ever since then, me and Steve's we love going to the track together, and it's a partnership, and we have fun doing it,
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to say, Steve?
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, everybody, knows that with Bobby's name obviously comes with a lot of years of experience, being a good guy, knowing cars. People just, people gravitate towards Bob. And I was kind of the same way. When I started this years and years ago, and how I met Bob, I was at the track one day, and he wasn't there, but Rocky Akins was there. And he was helping tune a car for a guy that used to be one of my customers. And I asked Rocky, and he said, yeah, Bob's still up there in Newton. So, long story short is I went up there and Bob was in the shop like he always is. We sat down there at the desk, and he asked me what my goals were, what I wanted to do, where I was at, kind of just, not just trying to take my money and throw me in a car and then wreck it and then get another car. And this, I mean, he took me under his wing, like, he was my son, or I was his son, and, always treated me as he felt like everybody wants to be treated in life. And, from there on, we just kind of, we don't say we think the same, but we agree upon a lot of the same stuff. I mean, we're only 6 years apart in age, and both farm boy growing up, and just kind of were raised by some good men and good values. And, like I said, it just clicked together. And, I never felt like through the whole process I was ever taken advantage of. I was sat there. I watched my motors being built from the ground up, being a good father that he is, has the patience to teach somebody with not that skill set that he has, or that I have, that he can sit there and teach you. And still today, I don't claim to know shit about motors. I can drive a car a little bit.
Well, on this term too, Ron, Doug, when we build the motors, I don't do anything to his motor I wouldn't do to mine.
Sure.
And when me and Steve line up, and this is no joke, I mean, ain't like I slow Steve's down so I can win. You know what I mean? We went through the quarter mile, and I said, Baker, you better be on your game, because I know he's a little lighter than I am. And we go out there, and I ran like a 9:20, 3 with a 6. And Steve came back and ran 9:23 with a 2 or something like that. But I treated that.
I had to catch him.
I mean, we was on our game, and our motors were just right neck and neck with each other. So
nice.
And we run a lot of the, they used to run Norwich, the little 150 foot out there.
Yeah.
And it came down. We were in the finals. It was Ghost against Coppertone. And we were setting up there against each other, and
they said Steve won by that much.
You can see that, right? Yeah.
No, Ron. Hey, when they said that, I'm thinking, yeah, right. Okay. So if it was someone else, Tony Loomis was there. I mean, me and Steve didn't know who won, but the finish guy said like this, and I said, yeah, right. Well, we needed a photo finish on that one.
Yeah.
But you got to understand, I was more happy for Steve to win than me.
Sure.
So I'm not going to protest it and say we got to rerun.
Yeah. That's funny.
If that was someone else, we could have reran, because that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on just one second. I want Gary to read a couple of these comments. This is good stuff coming for you guys. Just take a chill for a second.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, here's Mrs. Harper says Steve and Bobby are generous with their time to make sure the 470 class for the Garfield Heads Up series continues. They have both been very helpful and have now taken on helping to fund the 580 class also this year.
Right.
Got one more. Hold on.
Yep. And Charles McPherson says, thank both of you for sponsoring the 580 class.
Yeah. Charles is my buddy. I tell you what, you don't ever want to race either one of us. I'll tell you that.
No,
because if we're not scheming behind your back, and I tell you what, we can do that with our buddies. We're going to get you.
Yeah.
Charles, he goes up that starting line, and he's in to win. I mean, in his mind, he's got to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I got some story to tell that Steve was saying. It was kind of hilarious. Charles, the last race, was racing Billy, and Billy was out the first time, my brother in 68 Camaro. And Charles got beat by Bill, and Steve walks up to Charles and said, Charles, do you know that guy that beat you? He goes, no, he looks familiar. He goes, you just got beat by a Stahl. I didn't do it, but Steve had to rub it into him.
Oh, man.
He said, who was that guy in that red Camaro? I said, that's Bobby's brother. Don't he look just like him?
Right. But you can't argue about getting beat when the guy goes into the finals and takes the finals, because I would rather get beat by the winner of the class than someone else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Charles is nothing to play around with. He's there.
No, he's one of the guys that we've built a relationship with. Always happy when we see him pull into
Oh,
the
yeah.
racetrack, and we know we've got to be on our game when we're racing him. And if he wins, I'm happy for him, and if he wins, or if I win, he's happy the same way. But it's just that I don't know, it's that family atmosphere again. It's good to be a part of something that everybody enjoys doing together, and it's been a good ride so far.
Now that car, Steve took to Cooter's Body Shop, the guy that painted mine. They got two brothers out in Goddard. Steve had that painted and put the fiberglass front end on it. And then now this year, Steve put fiberglass doors on that car. So that car has came a tremendous long way. That car is beautiful, and man, it does its job. And now he's going to be way too fast, so he's going to have to watch it like Charles. Charles is going to slow us down too. So it's harder to slow down.
Yeah, be throwing taters.
Throwing taters.
Yeah.
But guys, I'm telling you, racing is, I don't know what it is, but when you get out there, that's my second away from home. I love it. And I love going to the lake and everything too with the family, but racing is for the guys. You know what I mean? When you go out with your buddies and Tony and my boy Braxton, and we all be a part of something. And God, guys, and like I said, I feel so good when Tony's out there, because he dots his I's and crosses his T's, and I just look at him and he's got your back. And Rod, and you guys know when you're racing, that's the least thing you want to worry about is your car. You want to get up to that starting line and make it happen. So
and it doesn't matter if you're coming to the track and you meet Tony. Don't ever say you want to bet against Stahl, because you better have your pockets full.
Tony throw that money, boy.
He doesn't give a shit if we lose 5 races. He knows we're going to win 1.
Yeah.
But let's can we take a real quick second here and mention our sponsors?
We'll get you. Hold on a second.
Yeah. Tracy Lynn says, how long before Loomis gets his truck ready to join Stahl Racing?
Hey, Tony didn't buy a truck. He's been looking. Tony's got the bug. Tony's got the money now too, and he's got a few businesses, and Tony is a big sponsor too. Tony, me and him worked together, and used to be my boss at Boats Parga, and man, we've got in together, and he's came and helped us at Norwich, and me and Tony's got to be really good friends, and man, I'm blessed to have a good friend like that.
The double back. Yep.
But
Steve, give me just one more minute and we'll get there.
Sure.
Gary, you want to grab the Chevy too?
Yep, we got the Chevy too. Bam.
Yeah, that was in Wichita. That's Jimmy Holzman right behind the car.
Yeah.
I built that Chevy too. I wanted to go faster. I built it. Jay Ediger started it, and then something happened to Jay. And anyway, I turned around and took it to Steve Bruce. Steve Bruce is no longer around either, and put carbon fiber tubs in it. That car weighs 2,100 pounds. Ooh. And I just wanted to have a good time and enjoy it and go faster. And that car can go a lot faster than what it's doing. But 470 is a good level-headed class without really tearing up stuff,
Right.
And I have had that car up on 2 wheels. I've been in the other lane when I shouldn't have been. It's been enormous. Right there's Arc City. The wheelie bars collapsed on me, and I didn't lift. I drove it all the way down, laid it down in the far side on the lane. I was racing Mike Cooper at that race. That was in Arc City, actually.
Yeah.
And then everybody tells me, Bob, that's some good driving. I wasn't driving. Wheels were in there all the way down.
He was hanging on.
Yeah, look, I'm out of my groove right now. Look at the tire. I'm heading over to the left. I laid that thing down probably 150 mile an hour on the big end.
Yeah.
Woo. So,
nice.
It's been crazy. That car's been a blessing right there. I mean, there's Mario right there in the background behind the car. Mario's been a big support too. He's helped us out, and I built some motors for him, and he's had a good time.
And that's kind of Mario's always in the back looking forward.
Yeah,
because he's always getting beat.
No. Mario is just a good fan. Mario supports me a lot, and he likes racing.
But I thought his eyes were red because of them taillights all the time that are going
on. Well, boy, Mario.
I love you, Mario. I'm just fucking
Mario. He's starting trouble right there. No. But no, that car has been a very good car. It's done its job. If I lose in that car, it's because of me. It's not because of the car. That car is done his job. So it works. It has a 107 60 foot, 108 right in that area.
And when we went to Century 2.
Yeah, that was in Century 2 car show. That was at Starbird car show.
Okay.
I ended up taking like second in my class at that car show. So, but,
Hey, Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy, he's passed now.
Darren Morgan.
Yep. I think he had a heart attack or something, didn't he?
Something.
Yeah. He was a good guy.
Yeah.
And that was at the Chill. That was at the Chill.
He sponsored a race or two before.
Yeah.
Yeah. A kid. I wonder if that's Kendall's car behind you. Is that Kendall Dean's car?
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it is. And I gotta hand it out to Kendall. Kendall builds some beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, Kendall, wow, he does build some beautiful cars. So I got to give him kudos on that one. So,
hey, Gary, go back to that picture with him up on the rear wheels there with the. So no joke, true story. The one more to the right. I'm on the starting line when you're doing this, and I look over at Harper, and he goes, "Does that guy lift?" And I go, and I said this, no joke. I said, Bobby Stahl is our local JJ the Boss.
well, yeah, yes.
You know what that means?
No lift.
That's right. Do you watch Street Outlaws, Bobby?
I don't watch a lot of TV, but I have seen JJ the Boss. Yeah.
No, but that's it right there.
That's hilarious.
I don't. When I leave that line, now don't get me wrong. I had to lift one day. I about hit the wall. I mean, that one about made my butt pucker a little bit. But
you can go 470s in a small tire car.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's crazy. I wouldn't have been able to save it if I've done that. I don't think.
Sure.
But it's not that I couldn't do it. It's just you're riding on thin ice.
I know you could.
Well, if he's on the small tires, you wouldn't have them sissy bars behind you.
No, you don't need those. You don't need those.
But yeah, there were some good days. That car, if you want to know the truth, Gary Stevens painted that car, and it still looks beautiful. It's been painted since I got it on the road bar, that tag on it, and then early 90s. But that car, the checkerboard glows in the dark.
Yeah.
He put a fluorescent in the checkerboard, and that paint job, that fluorescent or the checkerboard glows in the dark.
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
There's Tony right there. Let's see. Is Tony in that one? Yeah, right there. Tony's right there beside me. And man, we go out to race. We have a good crew. I can't say
go left.
Tells the guys what to do and everything.
Go left to right there. Who's the fellows with you?
That's Brian. Brian, my neighbor down the street, Brian Smith. He's actually related to JR. And then right is my boy Braxton. He looks just like me.
Yep.
And then Tony Loomis, great friend. And then me. And then Trevor Bright, Brett Bright's boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
He loves racing. And, man, you couldn't ask for enough. He's there every day. And, I mean, every time. He just loves being out there. So
Trevor.
That was the winner's circle one evening. And then we took the other winner's circle, too, during the day. So
October 1st, 2024, just last year.
Yeah. That was some good times. So
this was early in the year.
I go out to race and I don't look. I can be beat. I can be beat like anybody else. But when I get up that line, I mean, if you beat me, you done it. But if you don't, I'm going to give it everything I got.
Yeah.
That's our buddy right there.
Yep. There's Chris.
Chris
is on right now. He's watching. He's commenting.
Yep. Wichita Dyno. Chris couldn't say enough. We dynoed the Chevy 2 there. And check the O2 sensors and everything. And I'm telling you, ever since I dynoed it with Chris, I've never burned a motor up since.
That's great.
I got a separate nitrous system on the Chevy 2. So I flip the switch. It has its own nitrous. It don't come from the back. I got a little tank in the front.
Yeah, for the fuel.
Yeah. And ever since I've done that and Chris dynoed it, when I turn the switches on, if they do their job, that's the least thing on my mind is hurting the motor. And that car is run religiously ever since we've done that. And thank you very much, Chris, for letting us do that.
Cool.
Chris had some hard times. He had a stroke and we went up and seen him in the hospital and cheered him up and got him going. And Chris is very blessed because he didn't lose his memory. He still can build the cars.
Sharp as a tack.
And a lot of people, when you have a stroke, you lose your memory, and he's got to be blessed for that.
Yeah, he was there yesterday at Mel Hamilton.
Yep.
Seen him out and about.
Yeah, his arm's not come back yet, but his memory's there and he can still function. So
there you go.
You know, Chris, me go back a long ways. Chris actually seen me racing before I even knew Chris back in Newton. He came from Peabody, Kansas, and he watched us and Corey and all of us race, Rod.
Right.
So back before I even knew Chris. So
Here he is.
Steve's car and Dino Dars, and like I said, we're very blessed.
Found power we didn't know we had.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right.
He says thank you here to you guys.
Yeah. So we're telling the truth. We don't lie, Mario.
And Chris says he's getting better every day. So
Every day.
good to hear.
You care if I hit these sponsors real quick?
That's what we're getting ready to do. So just talking through it. I don't know if you got one more picture there, Gary, but
Just this is the last one right here.
just want to like take the time now. And Steve, you can go first, or if Bobby wants to go last, we'll let Bobby go last. All right.
Okay.
And so, but this is the time you want to talk about just not only your sponsors, but just people who help you along the way, you know, and that sort of thing, and the give back. So go ahead and get that rolling.
Okay. Yeah. Even though I put a lot of shit on Mario, he's my brother and I love him from day one. So I got to give him thanks. He actually contributes to our sponsorship as well. He has his own business here in Wichita.
Clear Direction,
where he's very influential on people with addictions and different challenges in life, and definitely appreciate his contributing factors to what we do. Hopefully we'll get to see him out. He's involved a lot with his kids. Great father. Want to see him out this year if we can. He's got a couple cars that he just needs to get over to Bob, get tuned up, and get running.
Well, I give Mario a hard time because I think he's scared. He's getting older, he's getting scared. But
I was trying to smooth it over.
Hold on, Bobby. You'll get.
I know, but I got to say, but Mario, the reason he don't come out a lot is because his boy is in basketball.
Sure,
Mario, he is very loyal to his family. So
Sure.
Good dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to add that in.
And then the number one guy that we got to give everything to here below the God standard is Daryl Palmer. If it wasn't for Daryl, I don't know what we would do. We rely upon Daryl so heavily for his knowledge, everything that he does, all the hours that he puts in at the shop.
He's 81 years old.
All the knowledge. Daryl is, if you know Daryl, you know Daryl. He's a godsend, just a great guy. Very blessed to have met him in this lifetime. Yeah. And this from Daryl down, no particular order, just as I wrote him down here. Scott Baruth with AutoSmart. Very, very good guy, contributes a lot of money, loves racing. I don't think you'll ever see this guy not stop giving money, not stop being at races. He's got a daughter that's coming up that she'll probably get the bug here, and I'm sure he'll get her into something and do some racing. Our buddy JR, I tell you what, JR is one of those guys that in life you will never forget, kind of like a Bobby Stahl. JR is
he's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. You can't say enough about the guy. I mean, there's no words to explain how much of help he's been in the whole grand scheme of things as well. A lot of dollars have come from that pocket to this whole community as racers.
Yeah.
Rob Holzman out there at Holzman, always anything you need over there for him, chassis work, anything for him, knowledge, just go, or him and Carol, you just want to go in and say hi.
Yeah.
Just go in and say hi. It's nice to, just chop it up with them. Chris Lovett over there, Wichita Dyno, said Chris, with all the years of experience and knowledge and his boy and everything they've been through. Obviously there's a God in it. It comes through and shows in.
I got a story to tell you on that.
He's excelled.
This is how much Chris loves racing. Now, Chris is down. He had a stroke. He's sitting in the hospital. And we're getting ready to race, and we're looking for sponsors. And Chris wanted to give us $300. Now, this man's down now to contribute toward our sponsor, and I wouldn't let him do it. And we got into an argument over it, and I wouldn't let him do it because this man's got his family to take care of. He just had a stroke, and he was loving racing so much he still wanted to contribute $300 to our program.
Man.
So, and I didn't take him up on it. I told him, you keep your money, you got family to take care of first. So just want to let you know how much Chris loves racing.
Yeah. And Phil and Lisa over there at Mill Hamilton, always call Phil. Hey, Phil, we got a race coming up. How much you need?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
how much you need?
How much you need?
If I told him $1 million, he'd probably give me $1 million. I feel bad. I mean, Phil loves racing. Like I said, he just how much you need, and I feel bad, but he loves it. So
yeah. I mean, he's got a son, and he's putting money out there left and right. And
check this comment out from Chris. Chris says, "You're lucky I only had one arm."
Oh, he was
Yeah. I know it. We was gonna box in the hospital.
That's right.
Tony, you've heard the name Tony Loomis. Tony has a concrete business, a hauling business, and electrical company there out of Hutchinson, Kansas.
I told Tony, if you get so rich, you better not forget about me. So I said, I'm still your buddy.
Yeah. Luke over at All Things Automotive, they've contributed to our racing, over there in the Derby area. Him and Shorty have got their thing going on over there. They're the all thing guys. I mean, I think about them. I think about all the newer stuff like the LS, the computerized stuff, and all that stuff. Them guys, they've got a handle on that stuff, and it's.
You
it's
talked
proven.
about Phil. Did you talk about Lisa?
I said Phil and Lisa.
Did you? Okay,
Yeah,
you can't
yeah.
leave Lisa out.
Oh no, Mama's there.
Yeah.
So enjoyed seeing her Saturday too. She's always there for the events. You go in and say hi to her, and then kind of the other guys that are in our group that are there most of the time supporting us. Whether it's, we got a great group, guys. I mean, we literally do nothing. We sit, drink water, and put our suits on. These guys are airing our tires up. They're checking the tires. They're checking the gas. They're making sure the nitrous bottles are full. They're looking over the small stuff. And when we do the one over quick before we hit the track type deal. But that's Bob's boy, Braxton Stahl. He's my fishing buddy. So we kind of got a little bit of a rub between, I'm like summer stall racing and fishing. So it's really like, it's hard to kind of juggle both, but Braxton's always been there from day one. Trevor Bright, he's there. He's a great kid, shows up all the time. He's learning, kind of like a little, helper underneath it. Just, he's learning what we expect out of him. And Tony's running this whole thing. He's over those guys. And these guys we take care of them. It's not like they're earning an hourly wage, but Tony drives them like they are. And then my boy, sometimes he'll come out there when he's not busy. That's Tyron Baker, Jimbo, Bob's son-in-law. He's out there helping when he can. One other guy that I wanted to give a real quick shout out to that's huge at the Mel Hamilton is Nick. Nick helps us whenever we need parts. We're like typical racers. Hey, Nick, I forgot to put my bottles in the freezer and get nitrous, or I need a connection. Come down here. I got it for you guys. I'll take care of you. He's giving us a discount, always takes care of us. Just the guys down there at Mel Hamilton, you can't say enough about them. I mean, they're 100% into this racing thing. They've got vested money. You can tell by all the stuff that they put on, what they've done with the race shop out there. Just couldn't be more blessed to have these group of people supporting us. And, there's people that can contribute more. There's people that contribute less, but it's not always about the money. It's just that knowing that you support on what we do, and know that you're with us when we're doing it. It's kind of just a special thing for us.
Well, we couldn't do it without our sponsors and our team players.
Yeah.
I got a story one night while we were at the racetrack in Wichita, and had a whole cooler full of beer, and I'm not drinking, and my pit crew is drinking all night. Okay. And I don't realize it. I got a bunch of drunks as my pit crew. And finally, race is over, and I get done racing. I said, I need a beer. Guys,
no beer.
There was no beer. They drank the whole thing. And if I'd have known they were drunk while they were checking my tires, I'd probably got nervous. But, man, I mean, they were having a good time.
The beer was gone. Me and Braxton started drinking whiskey. So
wow.
Thank God I only lived minutes from the track.
And I don't drink whiskey, so that didn't happen.
There you go.
But what good time.
It was the end of the year blowout. We had
there you go. Hey, Bobby.
They had enough beer. It was crazy.
Bobby, anything else to last final thoughts?
We got another sponsor, Rick Bernard. He owns Sonic. He's in the Bahamas right now as we speak. He has been a big contributor. He likes rounding like Phil does and stuff. And Rick likes drag racing too. So he's a big sponsor for us every time we have a race. And like I said, he's good. And then we got Paul Partridge. He owns a roofing company out of Newton. And then we got Joe Fletcher, Fletcher, JC Flooring and Design. He lives out by Call Lake. He's been wanting to race for since he was a kid. He used to watch me race, and Joe's went through some rough times in his life, and I got to give him total respect for turning his life around, guys. And he's been through hell and back, and today he ended up buying one of my cars that I had parts laying around. I built it for him. He's going to be out of the car, weighs 2,500 pounds, and we put a 511 in it, and it ought to run some 6.0s on the motor. Cool. And he wants to run the 650 class. Yeah. And it could run faster than that because the car only weighs 2,500 pounds. So he's going to come out this next year. He was driving Coppertone the last run at Arc City because I didn't get his car done. So I brought Coppertone down to let him try it out. And he gets out of the car and his hands just going like this, and he just nervous. And but Joe Fletcher is going to be a big part next year, and his dream is to be in the winner's circle. So there you go. He's gonna sponsor us too next year. He has a great flooring business, and guys, like I said, without our sponsors and without our team players, and if it wasn't fun, we wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? Right. And it is a fun day. And we look forward to going out every time when we do that.
When you made the comment about being drunk, but Tony said, but you won.
Yeah, we won. Yeah, we won that night. I was going to celebrate. Yeah. You know? Yeah. We had no beer. Right. I was wanting to celebrate. And Tony goes, we're out of beer. I said, you drank it all? I couldn't believe it, guys. The cooler was topped, and they drank all of it. I'm surprised they didn't block it.
That's how much confidence they had in you. They knew you were going to win, so they just started early.
Yeah, so they like I said, they didn't let me down. And Tony, all I got to do is look at him, and I don't even have to question him. He just says, got it. You know, he knows I'm going to tie. But we don't see Tony every day, but on race day, Tony shows up, and it's like we haven't, we see each other every day. So Tony's got it in his blood too. He loves racing. So
very cool.
I can't say enough. It is. And then, I like doing other things too. Going to the lake and stuff like that. But racing has always been a passion. And Rod, we're still doing it. So it's got to be a passion because, things cost so much money. Yeah. And parts are getting hard to find, and they're not the best parts anymore. And like I said, I work nonstop just to enjoy my life, So.
Well, you're doing a good job at it.
Yeah, right.
I try to balance it because, if you have a family, like I said, when we used to go racing, it'd be the family. I used to bring the kids 4-wheelers and let them drive around the track, and when I was out racing, then when I was up at the line, they'd be in the stands and then we go snow skiing and go to the lake and stuff. It just wasn't all racing,
Sure. He taught me one thing about it. I asked him, I said, how have you been married so long and still have a wife? Because it's hard.
Well, on the day, I can honestly say my wife has put up with a lot, and she knew that was my passion, and she was happy for me. Now, she's not much of a drag racer, but she would always be there to support it. You know what I'm saying? So
got to balance it.
Yeah, she's been behind the whole scenes, and now the kids get older. They got their own lives, but Braxton's a big part of it, and we spend a lot of time doing that. He's helped get the cars, loaded up on the trailers and do all that stuff and get the gas and all that. So
driving them back and forth.
It's just been a blessing. I can say God's blessed us well, and I wouldn't change it for the world. So
nice. Well said.
Great.
We appreciate you coming on. You guys did a wonderful job. A lot of comments, a lot of people coming on, and the stories were just fantastic. And you definitely hit the mark. We were talking about it yesterday at Mel Hamilton, and kind of did a pregame and well done. Gary, you got anything?
I don't, man. Just this was super fun. This was just as awesome as I believed it would be. Just kicking it with you guys yesterday afternoon a little bit, and we just it gave us a good feel for how this was going to go, and it was exactly how it was going to be. It was great.
Well, there's nothing like, in my mind there's nothing like seeing someone that you help. It ain't all about me. I don't care if I win. I mean, I'm going to not give it away, but if I go out and it's someone that I've supported and helped build, if I see them win, that is so much. I mean, proud that, the team we do together is what I'm saying.
Yep.
It's all about helping other people.
Yeah.
And seeing his dreams come true,
And you've only heard about a quarter. We could do 20 of these.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Sure. Well, and for, just the chair Gary and I sat in, and from, just on behalf of the racing community, we really appreciate what you guys are bringing to the table. The passion, the little dollars you're coming in for the 475/80 class, things you're doing with Mel Hamilton and Mad. We really appreciate that and continue to grow. We'll be out there the same weekend you guys are.
Rod, if there's anybody else that'd like to contribute to help support the program, they could put something together to help the racetracks. I'm all for it, guys. We don't always got to be the show. We just want to be part of it. You know what I'm saying? So if someone else can step up and they got some talent or some people they know, guys, it just makes it easy on everybody.
There you go.
And we're all racers and we all win together if we all play together,
Right on.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate you guys inviting us on. We like that, and appreciate the opportunity to just kind of get our stories out there. And we tune in and listen to you guys and hear other guys' stuff, and just it was a pleasure. Appreciate it.
And Rod, me and you go back.
Yeah.
I mean, Shane and all them, we go back a long ways.
Yeah, we do.
I mean,
30 years.
like we started yesterday. It's the truth behind all that stuff. What we do is we've done the same for years.
Yeah, agree.
I don't like to watch. I like to be a participant.
Yeah.
Which costs a lot more money.
Yeah. What's Jeff saying there, Gary?
There's a comment before that didn't come up on the side over here, but Joe Fletcher says, "I can't wait to get this season started."
Nice.
Oh, he's losing sleep, guys. Hey, that guy, he's got his car. He's got a barn dominium, and he lives in this barn. He's got his car right there, so he can eat lunch and dinner and look at the car.
Perfect.
I mean,
Perfect.
The car. If I pull up on the phone, it is a nice car.
Well, it's the Gold Dust, the old Gold Nova.
Yeah, and Joe, can you send a picture on there? You probably can't.
No,
not here.
Okay.
Yeah. What's Jeff?
Jeff Berger says you couldn't ask for better people. Tony, Steve, and Bobby are the best.
Yeah. Well, I don't. That's one thing you got to be is when you're racing, you just got to be humble. I mean, I'm not going to get a big head. It's nothing like that. I just, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm proud of what I do, but I don't get a big head and get. There's a lot of people get too big for the britches and they get a big head and then they want to get cocky, and I don't.
Yeah.
My attitude is I can be beat on race day. Show up.
There you go.
And if you win, I'm going to shake your hand and say you've done it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to give it away.
There you go.
Yep.
So it'll be fun.
But we have a great time. I'm looking for Joe's car because he's going to be out next year, and I feel he's so fired up about racing that he wants to. His dream is to be in the winner's circle.
There you go.
Winner's circle.
I have goals,
And I believe if you got a dream, you can make it happen. And I think he will be there because he's really dedicated to make it happen.
Yeah. Well, the chances of him getting in the winner's circle, if he shows up to the race, he's got a chance.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
if he's got you in his corner, he's going to get there.
There you go.
Well, now that he's got, he's taught me where I'm at.
Here's his car, guys.
Concentrate. I don't know if you got to hold it right here.
Here's his car.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yep. Very good.
That showed up real good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got it sitting down good, and it'll be a pretty nice car.
And he'll be able to take and concentrate his time on working with Joe and get him to the level of where I'm at now. So because he's taught me, and I'm where I need to be, and now this is Joe's goal. He wants to beat me. Okay. That's big.
Okay, but it don't matter. You've beat me, Baker.
Yeah.
I haven't beat you in your 470 car.
Well, you ain't ran 470.
Speaking of which,
he's beat me in the copper tone.
The Corvette will probably make it out this year.
Yeah, we're going to try to get the Corvette in the 470 class. So
okay, another one.
Hey, Baker's beat me in the copper tone. The reason he beat me in the 470 is because he ain't ran the 470.
Yeah, there she is.
Is that the Corvette?
Yeah.
So
that looks like it's Frank Holzman's.
Yep, that's well when we took it in, that used to be, you remember that was Jeff's car, and it was an all blower setup car, and we took that. Actually, we didn't even have that blower motor. We bought the car as a shell.
Yeah,
and then
we put a 632 in.
We put Randy Statham went somewhere and bought this 632 and told me about it. So we swapped it over, and then Rob built the zoomies on it and checked it all out, and it's ready to go. And we fired it up last year, and we just have some training stuff that we need to do to get it dialed in. But on motor, it should put us, we're thinking probably close to that 480, 490 mark.
That car weighs about what the Chevy 2 does, and it made as much horsepower as a Chevy 2. So we're right in there.
Dang.
So that's a carbon fiber. That's a carbon fiber body on that one.
Yeah. Okay.
So Baker's got to get them conies.
Oh,
yeah.
Bet you I lived the first time.
He's got to get them conies. but I told him once he drives that, he won't go back to the 580.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, he'll when he runs a 580, he'll put his arm up on the row bar and drive it just like going on a Sunday cruise.
That's great.
All right, guys, we better
All
get.
right. We appreciate it.
Okay.
Good night.
Thanks,
all right.
guys.
Hey, appreciate everybody. Okay.
Yep. Thanks, guys. We'll see you at the track.
All right.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Oh man, those guys are great.
Whoa, great stories, man. Holy crap.
Yeah.
And I totally believe him when he says we could do 20 more of these with the stories.
Yeah.
You know?
You just hit the surface. You know what I mean? Very
Oh, man.
The foam coming off the beer. That's all that was tonight for Bobby Stahl and Steve Baker. Oh, that's great. Hey, why don't you go ahead and plug our sponsors one more time, Gary?
Yep. Let's get that. Our awesome partners in 2025, Mid America Dragway, Ultra Color Collision Repair, Titans of 10.5, the fastest small tire series in the Midwest, and Mobile Recon Mobile Detailing, Sandland Iron and Metal Auto Salvage, and Harry Street Carpet. They are our awesome partners in 2025. Thank you for being our partners.
Appreciate that. Appreciate everybody come on and listen to the great stories. It's going to be a great year. I'm getting pumped up. You know, it's officially race week. Football's over, and you know, car parts are coming in, and so I mean,
is you got your TV on? Is the Daytona still racing?
No, they just finished up. I got it on, but I don't know who won or anything. But they've moved on to the other program.
Right.
So,
cool.
yeah. Well, good job, Gary. You got anything else for us?
Yep. No, I don't, man. Thanks again to the Titans at 10.5 for coming on board. That was a fun way to bring them into the program tonight.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And
definitely.
Thanks to Larry and Al.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Glad you jumped on. Thank you, Doug.
Yeah.
Right on. Getting a shout out there.
Carmen. Yeah, that's right. There's Doug Perry. Another good show, guys. Thanks, Doug. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out on Sunday night.
Yeah. All right, you ready?
I'm ready. Ready to go in. And it's going to be cold this week. Be ready.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It's going to be a cold week, but everybody enjoy it. We got another show planned already for next Sunday. So let's just keep it rolling. Appreciate everybody joining, and have a good week.
All right. Rod, we'll catch you later, and thanks for your time tonight.
Good job, Gary. Great
right.
set of pictures.
Right on. Good night, everybody.